Good morning. How many people don't know what's going on? You don't know your past, you won't know your future. You don't know your past, you won't know your future. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning, Jonathan. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Rumors of wars. It's finally happened. Rumors of wars. Always rumors. It's a rumor because you don't know who it is. How's it going to be a rumor of a war if you know it's who it is? Let me show you this picture. Hold on. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm not even ready to go. I need to be sharing and stuff. I'm already running my mouth. Hang on. I'll show you this later. Rumors of wars. Oh, we are here, people. Good morning. Good morning. Ready to go. Oh, this is the best end of the world I could have hoped for. It's the best end of the world. This is so hilarious. If you didn't do your research, please, who was the brother who did the video yesterday? Somebody Abrams. I forgot his name. The brother, oh, he flipped out. He was in the hospital. He wasn't getting his shots. Well, he was a grown man, bro. A grown man, bro. Bro, I'm not a kid no more, bro. I don't know, bro. The world gonna change, bro. The whole world is different now, bro. Anyway, good morning. Be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. That's it. Be a part of the problem or be a part of the solution. Jonathan Hogo always just hits it. I can go. I'm gonna leave. Bye. See you. Done. I'm gone. That's it. You can be a part of the problem or be a part of the solution. Try to pay attention if you see any funky, strange trees going up, because the wars are rumors. It's not a war if it's fought in public. You know, the days of fighting wars with guns and swords and daggers and all that nonsense, that day is dead. That's a stupid war. That's a war for monkeys. It's a monkey war. The real wars are fought on the grounds of pharmaceutical companies and chemical companies and industries and central banking. Those are the real wars. The wars where all the criminals, you never know, because they don't ever show up on TV and everybody believes in the TV. As seen on TV. Y'all remember that? As seen, I saw it on TV. Let's talk about the virus. Oh, goodness gracious. Did y'all see? Ooh, goodness gracious. They're going to take that video down. They're gonna take that video down. What's his name? Robert Steele, ex-CIA spy, told you what the NSA needs to do. I like solutions. I love me some solutions. I can't stand the identities and arguing over who the puppets are. And then we had a good video last night outside of everything gonna change, bro. You're not gonna do me like Megas Evans, bro. And he got his shots anyway. So I don't think that was the flu shot. I think that was something else. I think that was a brother just having some fun, and he didn't want to get his shots, and he knew he was gonna get his shots, and he had to get his shots, and he went to the hospital to get his shots, but he made a funny video. Oh, it's hilarious. I'll post the link later. Good morning anyway. Good morning, Mags. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Positive beings, positive energy, Susan. You see beautiful stuff around you? I thought this is the end of the world. How come they got the tanks rolling out and Australia's falling apart? U.S. troops going to Australia to help them secure their nation. You sure there's beautiful things around? Beautiful things around me. I look around and I see wonderful things. I see flies coming up. I see my pear tree right in front of me. Got some leaves coming out. Ground over there is about to get tilled. I got all my thousands of seedlings ready to go in the ground, try to take care of these people who still watching the TV and think Bill Gates gonna save them with a shot. Rumors of wars. It's always an information war. It's always an information war. Yet another day. What is that? Yay, another tank top day. Yeah, it is, man. Yay for me. Yay for me. Hopefully yay for you, but dang it. I don't know if it's gonna be yay for the bacteria under my arms. I got work to do up there. Might be some onions under there later. Anyway, let me do this. Oh, I'm supposed to share. Let me share. I got that. Got the comments, and I'm gonna try to share the YouTube link right from the start this time. Whew. A lot of happenings yesterday. Did you see the new hashtag? These doctors and nurses, well, y'all just all gonna get fired. Y'all not playing your part. You see those scaring people, not telling them that people ain't nobody at the hospital. What is the hashtag? Hashtag video your hospital. Hashtag show us your hospital. What is that hashtag? The nurse told me about that. Hold on. Let me post this minute first on Facebook, because I ain't going live on Facebook. I still ain't going live on Facebook. might do it down in the future. In the future, I don't know. It's Facebook. All right. Oh, it's not gonna let. I don't think it's gonna let me. Let me see if it let me. Am I in jail again? It's a rumor of war. It is always a rumor. It's always a rumor of war. Now that we don't have sticks and stones that break your bones, because birds is gonna hurt you. All right, rumors of war. That actually sounded pretty nice. All right, let me post that, and then we'll get on Facebook. We change the music, and there we go. Whew. And I was, and then what was the other video last? I think, no, it's hashtag, let me see if I can get it for you. Hashtag post your hospital or something. And now they're in trouble telling everybody ain't nobody at the hospital. No, but I mean, there are some hospitals that are busy. You know, news ain't lying about that. They're just lying about everything that's falling apart. Most hospitals, ain't nobody in there. It's crickets and some mold. The bacteria that's always there, all the diseases you get from the uncleanliness. And I think, hang on, let me see if I can find it. Hashtag, oh, here go that sister. Yeah, I'll show you my timeline. This is the sister I was telling you about yesterday. I don't believe her. This one I don't believe. I like a lot of things that are being posted, but I have my own belief system like Bill Gates has his. And I'm allowed to if I believe it, then I'm gonna run with it, but it's gonna stay inside my body. You're not allowed to put your beliefs in my body. And the thing that people don't want to tell you, ain't no difference between science and religion. I know some of y'all are still in that little silly, ignorant fight. Ain't no difference. This sister right here, I believe. Praying is done on faith and science, and shots are done on faith and science. All right, that's the bottom line. And that's scientifically proven. A certain percentage of prayers work out, a certain percentage of prayers don't. If you want to have mandatory prayer around the country or the world, mandatory, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. If you want to have mandatory Twinkies, not gonna happen. But this sister, I don't believe. So let's just leave that. I'm gonna leave that where that is, because unfortunately nowadays it's a touchy topic whether or not prayer is gonna save us with a crusade, or shots and vaccines are gonna save us from a flu, from a pandemic. Like, yeah, hey, if you believe it, I think you should get the shot. That's what I think. I think if you believe it, you should go get that shot. You ain't putting nothing in me. Just not gonna happen. This sister, I don't believe. This is what I was telling you about. I don't believe her. I don't believe her. No, I don't, because her hair is too perfect. Did you watch this? I think what she said is probably pretty true. Oh, she's on YouTube now. That's a YouTube clip. But it doesn't fit. It looks like she's in a hospital, but she's got that hat on, that rag. That looked like a food services rag. That's why on the hat, holding the hair in. And plus her hair's not even in it. Her hair is out and it's flowing and fluffy and sheeny and shiny, and I ain't never seen no nurse with hair like that. Not working at a busy hospital. Ain't got curling irons. You're not allowed to have your hair hanging out, because the whole purpose of the hairnet is if you in surgery, or as if you making burgers or working in the cafeteria at the hospital. So I don't believe that one. Oh, Brother Bill did a great video yesterday. Hopefully y'all watched Brother Bill Bunton. Oh yeah, that's it right there. Hashtag film your hospital. And then they get in trouble right there. They're showing the empty beds. Now, what are you going to do about the rumors of the wars? Like, so if you know the hospitals are empty, you know they've been faking the news, then you need to make some decisions as to whether or not you believe the actual narrative. Anyway, good morning. I got to get my comments up. I know I need some stimulus. I need to stimulate my comments. Hang on. Oh, did y'all see the new stimulus? I did a meme this morning. I had some fun this morning. Where's my stimulus? There you go. There go your stimulus meme right there. The stimulus package. This is a literal stimulus package. Don't you Facebook put no hashtag fake news on that. That is a literal stimulus package. Monkeys, because that's the monkey with the butt that gets shiny. Because the butt gets shiny and red when it's time to tease the citizens into taking their own money, which not really is their money, and it's really actually a tax credit you got to pay back more for you. The real money went to Wall Street. That's real stimulus. That's the stimulus, and that's a big old package. All right, hang on, look at the comments. Stimulation. All right, rumors of wars. There's always secret societies and rumors of wars, because if you got to fight a physical war in the public and the actual people fighting the wars is on television, then you have a chance of losing. If your war is being fought by industries and banks and secrecy, then you'll win everything because you can control all the opposition. And that's what who was it? Ty and Tony's video was yesterday. Oh, I had big fun on that one. That was enjoyable. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't understand people. Let me show you this. Let me show you David Steele. Then I'm gonna look at some comments. David Steele, where's David Steele? What is David? His name? No, it's not David Steele. It's Robert David Steele, right? Here he goes right here. Oh, yeah. Hopefully you watched this video. I posted this link. Hang on. There you go. This is a quote. Came from your ex-CIA spy. What did he say? He said, I suspect that all organizations associated with, in any way, with the Gates Foundation, the World Health Organization, or the Center for Disease Control are fronts for criminal activity. Real quote. I posted a link on it. Robert David Steele, former CIA spy. And does that mean what he said is true? No. Not saying. But the fact that he would say that, I need to listen to. I need to pay attention to. Why do I need to pay attention to that? Well, because he used to work in the realms that we can't see, right? He knows about the secret societies that JFK talked about. I don't know nothing about them people. I don't know them. They're not on my television. I don't have a CIA television where I can see the people who actually make the decisions in the world, who are all fighting over control of the planet. I don't even know them. He does. And he's telling you that these people are dirty or corrupt and they're in criminal activity. You need to listen. I'ma listen. Don't bring that Q to me. Do not bring Q to me, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Say, I told you. Ty got me this morning. I told you. He's a Q guy. He trusts Q. It's like, well, hang on, Ty. Love you, man. Love you. So slow down. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. I'm not in the villain. The Q is a liar, and the Q is a savior. I'm not in that community. I'm not in any community. I think that if trust is a big word. Trust is a big word. I don't think, and maybe he did say it. I don't know. I don't watch Q videos. I don't watch anonymous videos. Once again, I know that none of these people are anonymous, so I really don't pay too much attention on that end. Q got a lot right. Anonymous got a lot right. Mickey Mouse got a lot right. Donald Trump got a lot right. Barack Obama got it. Everybody get something right, and everybody get a whole lot wrong. Why? Because look at the world. You've been sent to your room like a child. So, I don't really care if he's in the Q camp. I don't think he trusts Q. I don't think kitty cats trust their owners. That's what I think. I think that when you are a spy, when you're up to something, you're a predator, you got to go get that ball, some catnip, and rip it to shreds. You don't trust nobody. While that cat is stalking, you sneak up behind your kitty cat, see what happens. He'll turn around and claw the hell out of you. That cat don't trust you. I don't think cops trust anybody when they're doing good investigations. Detectives, right? They can't trust nobody. And damn sure on the level of freaking spy level, CIA, they don't trust, he wouldn't trust no Q. He wouldn't trust his mom. I don't trust my mom. I'm sure he don't trust nothing. But what Q said, what Q said in a few places are right. What Donald Trump said in a few places are right. And in this video, in his interview, he kind of explained his position. His position was the position I think that's common sense. His position was basically the NSA needs to release everything they have linking, between Bill Gates, the CDC, the World Health Organization, and all governments. They need to release it all. That's it. Open source world, no secrets. I always say that's the solution. Like the identities don't matter. If it's Q or David Steele or Barack Obama, Clinton, Trump, May Merkel, Putin, Xi Jinping, whatever. Rumors of war. Okay, people, if you know who the people are, it ain't a rumor. If you know who the people are, you can stop them. If you don't know who the people are and you're fighting over different underoos and who your leaders and saviors and kings are, then yeah, you'll always have rumors of war because there's always secrecy. And how do I know there's always secrecy? Well, because I got 2 eyes, an ear, some feet, a butthole, and I pay attention. That ain't no damn tree. That's how I know. That's not a tree. Oh, I got another one for you. That's not a tree. I don't think any of those are tree. That's what they want you to see when you watch TV. But if you pay close attention, look at that as seen on TV. So that's a tree. Right there. That's a tree. That make oxygen. That make cancer. That's a tree. That's not a tree. Tree, not a tree. We did this on Sesame Street. Then we do this on Sesame Street, I think. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just isn't the same. One of these things has a ladder and the guy has a radiation suit. Yes, I'm having fun with this. This is the funnest end of the world I've ever seen. Hang on. I gotta look at the comments, but I gotta show you one more picture first. It's a rumor of a war, people. You don't know who they are because they conceal your technology from. Look at this. You think that's a cactus? It look like a cactus from a distance as well. From a distance, like, yeah, it's a cactus. Why are they concealing it? Oh, for good reasons. Oh, because they want to protect the ecosystem. It's gonna look like a nice drive if you just see cactuses and trees in the distance. Nope, they don't want to know how. They don't want you to know how many that they're putting up. They're putting one up with every 1,000 feet. Unfortunately, the people who talk about 5G, they got something that they're talking about, which is important. Not sure it's everything. Oh, and that was another thing David Steele said, which was kind of deep. Robert David Steele. He said that he actually went right out and said it. He said that the compound they're calling the virus is a bioweapon. He said it enhances 5G and wave radiation signals that jacks people up. Is that true or false? Well, you gotta use your own thought. Like I said, your beliefs are for you, my beliefs are for me. What do I believe? I believe that I live on a planet where everything needs energy and everybody wants to rule the world. I believe I live in a nation where they don't never tell me any damn truth. What is this? Bill Withers, singer of Lean On Me. I'm sure he has the cuckoo virus. I don't know if that's true. I just got to pop up. Y'all see that? I'm sure it probably is. Because it's interesting how it gets all the people that will care about the most. Hang on. Uh-oh, did he die? No, he died at 81. Oh, good. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and he is gone. Oh, that is so sad. And I'm sure if I click on it, they'll probably say it was the cuckoo virus. That's so sad. Oh, there's another one while I'm in here. U.S. lost 701,000 jobs in March as unemployment rate jumps to 4.4%, which we know is not true. That probably means it's about 14 or 40, something like that. You don't know. What I do know is we heading for trouble. We can either act like there's rumors of wars or not. You can fight the religion, say, that's Christianity. I don't believe that. No, well, I think it's economics. I think that you can fight and win a war that nobody knows you're fighting. If you got these people in masks back here, because they wear masks for a reason, so you don't know who they are. And then they got that picture where they don't have the mask on. You don't know who they are, then you can't stop them. You can't fight them. If you believe Q, then you can't stop them. You can't fight them. If you don't believe Q, you can't stop them. You can't fight them. You're either playing identity and savior, or you're playing principle. I like principle. Because I think if you don't know your past, you won't know your future. And I like to look at the past. You know, so do I think the virus or the compound is a bioweapon? Sure, why not? How does it affect me, my day, positively or negatively if I say it's a bioweapon? It doesn't. It doesn't. It affects their day. It doesn't affect my day. My day, I got my tomatoes. I'm not going to start putting them in the ground. Still too cold. I got my squash. I might put the squash. I don't know. Squash likes it hot. I might put the squash in and just put some plastic if it gets cold. But it's not going to affect my day if I say it's a bioweapon. If I say it's a bioweapon, then they got to prove that it's not. So I'm fine with it being a bioweapon. If he's ex-CIA, he said that, Q says that, Anon says that, and guess what? If they shows that it's not, then it's not. But I want to know the worst case scenario, because I know there's always rumors of wars. I know that these people are never on my side. They're always up to something. Hang on. Good morning. So anyway, how y'all doing this morning? I just think it's going to be a fantastic end of the world. I do. I mean, we're going to have fake cactuses, y'all. You figure aliens will come here in a couple thousand years, see that damn cactus and tree, like, what the hell was they doing? I guess I just don't believe in saviors. I don't think anybody's coming to save us. I think we can save ourselves. And the only way to do that is if we know what's true and you let other people make their own decisions. I think that we go along with what Robert Steele is saying. The NSA has to release all the records on everything. When you have a world where you know actually what's going on, that you might have influence in that world. As long as they got secrets, you will never know what's going on in that world. So good morning anyway. Good morning. Megs is in the house, and Susan, Christine, Kimberly. Good morning, Susan. What's that? 5 blue jays in my yard. At one time, beauty everywhere. Susan, do not, you know what? We need to do hashtag show your yard. That's what we have to do. And everybody will look at each other's yards like, oh, wow, ain't nobody acting stupid. Ain't nobody in the streets. Ain't nothing going crazy. The news is making it all up. Everybody's behaving for the most part in the United States, maybe not India. Beautiful day. But see, you can't take over a world with a beautiful day. You need the people to act up. And that's why we're locked in our houses, because they know people are running out of food and they need them to act a fool. And when not act a fool, they need them to go eat. They need them to go riot. They need them to be upset. They need to get them to go crazy. And they will get their way when people act up. That's why they're sending out the National Guard. How do we combat that? Well, it's like any other system. You don't actually have to fight a system. You just got to stop believing. All you got to do is just feed your neighbors, take care of your neighbors, look out for each other, and their plan will fail. So as all of these guys are battling, if it's the pharmaceutical industry fighting with the chemical industry, fighting with the banking industry, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all these people we don't know fighting these rumors of wars to control all the nations and global power and currencies and give you forced religion in your veins through a shot. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Just let's let their plan fail. How about that? Whatever it is, don't trust the plan. I know that's what keeps trusting. Don't trust the plan. Don't trust the plan. Why shouldn't we trust the plan? Because you live here. How old are you? Right? I'm 29. Damn it, I haven't been here a minute. I don't see nothing I can trust. I see cats is gonna eat my fingers if I die. I see biology and microbiology, they're gonna eat me if I die. I see lions and tigers and bears and people who want to control me, would love to have me work for them as a slave and they be my supervisor or manager, however you want to put that. I just see everybody out for energy. I don't trust nothing. I ain't trusting no damn plan. Nope, I ain't trusting no plan. None. Nil. Rumors of wars, because everybody's at war for energy, including your mama and your daddy and everybody else. Here's a lovely day. It is, Christine. As long as it's a lovely day, we actually have say. Ooh, that kind of rhymes. As long as it's a lovely day, we actually have say. When people get in the street or start acting a fool, then it's going to be a problem. Can't wait to see more green again. That helps the soul so much. It does, Max, because we're supposed to be outside. Oh, look, Beaufont got up early this morning. Everybody say hi to Beaufont. Good morning. Yeah, it's kind of early for you, man. But you went to bed on time last night? They're making room for what they're being told is coming. Ooh, oh, you mean the hospitals? Is that what you're talking about? The hospitals are emptying out. That's why they're empty, because they're making room for us. Well, we know something's coming. If we don't feed our neighbors, we don't look out for each other, then you really gonna have a pandemic. Right now, it's pandemonium and a plandemic. And they're waiting for that plan to come to fruition. But unfortunately, the scripture told us rumors of wars are coming. And now we live in a technological age where you can wage a war and nobody will know. It'll be quiet outside because that war is being waged on servers and databases and currencies and stocks. That's where the war is waged. Asked my brother how it was in hospital. He didn't answer. Oh, he didn't answer that. Okay, good, Christine. Let us know what he says. I asked one nurse. The nurse was like, ain't nobody here. I asked another nurse. The nurse was like, no, this is pretty normal. One nurse did reply and say, hey, yeah, it's a little busier. Dr. Shiva, he posted the video. No, Dr. Buttar posted a video that nobody was in these hospitals in New York. Presbyterian, the Presbyterian hospital, nobody was there. The hospital that the brother was in, what's the name of the hospital? Hey, let's stop, bro. Everything gonna change, bro. What hospital was that? Hang on. It was in Texas, right? It was in Texas. I know it was in. You know how I know it was Texas? Because all the women was on the comments were commenting, and you can see all that. It was all fine women. That's Texas. They got guns and fine women. That's just all they do. They don't have anything. And they got some what's them little things that float around? Because there's something about Texas where people got to get everything plastified. They got to get plastic surgery, wear lots of makeup, but they're pretty women. They're pretty women. Hang on. I know it sounds wrong. I'm a man. I try not to be a man, but I am a man, unfortunately, and it affects me, and I'm working with that. I'm just deal with me, pray for me. But that's the hospital he went and staged that video in. Let me see if I can get down to it. What was his name? The bro guy. Don't touch me, bro. The world gonna come to an end, bro. Everything gonna change, bro. I need a kidney, bro. Oh, I love that. I loved it. But at the end, it was weird, though, because at the end, he's like, you ain't going to stick me with nothing, bro. You ain't going to put that in me and bro. And then they put it in him. They put it in him. But they knocked the camera down first. Where is he at? Hang on. But if you go to his thread, just to let you know, people say, well, you know, he was mentally ill or they really got him or something. I don't think that was about the cuckoo virus, number one. And number two, if you go to his profile, he's a funny guy. He does funny stuff. And he did a video right after that where he was fine. Here you go, right here. Hang on. The bro video.
If y'all gonna try to quarantine me or whatever, you can't force me to put anything in my arm. You cannot do that. It doesn't work like that.
Got to do a workup on you, dude.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
But it doesn't work like that. How do you know I'm sick? You haven't even done a test on me.
You're coughing already.
You won't let him test? You won't let him?
How do you know I'm sick? You haven't even done a test on me.
They tried to do a test on you. In order to do a test, they got
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. It doesn't work like that.
You got you, dude.
You can't force me to do anything, bro.
But you sick, man.
I'm a man.
I'm a
You're better to a
man.
man.
I'm a man. You can't force me to do anything, bro.
But you got to do a workup on you.
Before you stick a needle in me, I want a lawyer up here. You can't do that. Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest?
No, not on the wrist.
Well, how can you force me to do something?
So,
But
James,
try not to.
How can you force me to do something if I'm not under
James,
arrest?
listen, I'm trying to explain to you. The
Some shit
doctors,
gonna change.
doctors talk to you.
Some shit
The
gonna
doctors
change today, bro.
decided that you didn't
Y'all
have-
talked to me when I was a kid.
I'm trying to explain.
I was a kid too. And I'm a man now. Listen to him, man. I'm a man now. Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening.
So the doctors talk to you. They did not feel like you have the capacity to make medical decisions based off their discussion with you. And so
How do I not have that?
that's the
I'm a grown man now. How do I
That's the
not have the
doctor's
capacity?
decision. Okay? And all we're trying to do is help you. Nobody wants to hurt you. We're
I
just
don't
trying to
wanna
make
hurt
sure that
anybody
you're
either.
okay.
I am okay.
Boyd, Robert, Young, Charles, Edward, first name William, common Stone, white male, 68, gold 303.
So if you'd be willing to let us do what we need to do medically for you,
Yeah, I've
we wouldn't
tried
have to
that
go
already
through all of
before.
this.
That's not what I need.
And I
A
think
lot
that's the
happening in this
concern,
video.
is that you're sick. We can all tell that you're sick,
I'm not sick.
but you don't want to get the help that you need.
I'm not sick.
You were sick enough to call an ambulance.
Shit gonna change today. It's called a revolution. A revolution. That's what that's called. Revolution. That's what this is called. Y'all know what a revolution is? Do you know what a revolution is? Huh?
What does that have to do with you being sick?
Do you know what a revolution is? Do you know what a revolution is?
I'm not gonna show the whole thing. It's a whole lot happening in this video. I had to take it all in. You gotta watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. Whole lot of stuff. Whole lot of stuff. First of all, I don't, maybe it is about the cuckoo flu. I don't know. All I'm saying is there's a whole lot that's coming out of this young man's mouth. It's a whole lot of important information. It's a lot of humor, but there's a whole lot of important information. So, he went through it and he told them about everybody. Told him about the syphilis experiments, told him about how he got vaccinated as a child, told him about how it didn't work. Everybody goes back and forth and makes a position. To me, by the time you got to the end of this and you hear him screaming, getting shots, and it leaves you in a weird space. It does. It's a good video to watch. Y'all should watch it. But I felt like I finished watching Tiger King. It was crazy. I was done with it and I was like, I was mad, I was sad, I was angry, I was laughing, I was confused, wasn't sure what I just watched. His next video, he was laughing and having fun. And then you look at his friend's posts and like that kind of sets the tone of what it was really about. But there's important information in it. A whole lot of things. First of all, yeah, you have no rights over anybody. Ever. No one. Not Bill Gates, not your neighbor, not your cousin. Nobody has any damn rights over you, not even your doctor. Those rights are given at birth. They're not given to an author of rights, authorities. So that's one thing. I think he did a public service in this. And this is why I was laughing and I shared it. And I was crying and I shared it. It's crazy. But this is where we are. Rumors of war. Let me move that down a little bit. Rumors of wars. Nobody has any right to do anything to you. Like I said, to me, prayer is based in science and faith. And so are shots. So is medicine. So are synthetics. They're based in a percentage of science. They're based in science. There's some real sciences to it. And there's a whole lot of faith to it. Things gonna change, bro. Everything's gonna change. And he did a public service. He actually made what happened to him, which I think he knew was gonna happen to him, entertaining. And now you've got hundreds of comments, thousands of 70,000 shares and 3 million views. These are the important topics we have to talk about. These are the rumors of wars that are happening. Is that they can't do this to any of us. But Lori, I disagree. Do they have the right to do it to us? No. Can they do it? Yes. They absolutely can do it. And will they do it? Absolutely they will. They certainly will if we don't change. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's a system. There is no they. It's just a system. And we all support the system. We put the system in place. We consented to the system. We voted for the system. People follow the political party. This is all the nations. We agree to put them in power. Oh, I know, Lori, we're agreeing. I know. I know we're agreeing. I'm explaining what we talk about this every day. So they will do it to us if we let them. The system, so it's like the whole thing. Is Max Joy around here, old brother John? You can't fight a system, right? Everybody consented to it, and the vast majority of people need it, right? They need it for oxygen, they need it for water, they need it for housing, they need it for they need it for everything. And the majority of people will all consent when it comes down to it, because when you say, or when we say they can't do this to us, we're saying that no, you can't have the system that we agreed to give to these powerful people, right? And our neighbors will turn against us. They'll all cheer for us to be held down, given our shots or whatever needs to happen. Things got to change, bro. Things got to change. And the only way we change that is you walk away from it. You can't fight a system. You can't get cannonballs and dry powder and guns. And that's not how you fight wars that are fought on rumors, right? Wars that are fought in databases, wars that are fought in secrecy, wars that are fought not in any view of anything you can see. You can only fight that with consent. You have to walk away. That's the only way that you get out of that war. But this was a great video. I was going to say, stay the hell out of hospitals. Lori, that scares the hell out of me. Yeah, but it's true. If nurses are telling you to stay out of the hospital, you need to listen to them. Doctors are telling you, Dr. Shiva, Dr. Buttar, Del Bigtree, these doctors saying stay out of the hospital, I think you need to listen. It's flu season, and a lot of crazy things are happening. What did they give him shots for? Oh, Megs, nobody. Well, I guess if you go out and look at his profile, I'm sure you could find out. I think that he had some problems, and he knew this was going to happen, and he wanted a viral video, and he did it. I think that because he did it, it started a powerful conversation. And looking at the comments, you can see from his friends, the people who know him, that he's a comical person.
And you, so gonna change today. So James, gonna be a lot of changes going on after this. My thing is this. After this, there's gonna be a lot of changes. James, y'all owe me. Hold on, James. Y'all owe me money. James, listen to me. Y'all owe me. James, you came. Bro, y'all owe me. James, you came to the hospital, right? Y'all owe me. James, are you listening to me? Things gonna change after this. You came to the hospital for him. If I gotta die for it, I don't care. James, you came to the hospital for him. Y'all owe me. You got everybody here that's trying to help you. Y'all owe me, bro. So what do you want us to do, man? Y'all owe me.
I agree with the doctor, though. The doctor, you hear what he said? The doctor said everybody here is trying to help you. I agree. They are. In their own way, in their own religion, in their own belief system, in their belief that they, in their religion, their prayer, their medicine, their synthetics will bring about a result that they want. And they're all paid to do it. And they're right. But is it right? And to me, that answer is always no. Principles. Like I said, I don't care nothing about the identities. I'm not interested in a new crusade. I'm not interested in Bill Gates' crusade to own the world. He owns these companies that own the patents for a lot of this stuff. And so does GlaxoSmithKline and a bunch of them. You go ahead and look at Dr. Buttar's video. He'll explain it to you. I'm not interested in another crusade. I'm not interested in a science crusade or a religion crusade. I'm not interested in anybody who thinks that they know forcing anything over anybody else. Supposed to go to court. Well, you know, Lori, I don't know Texas law. I'm pretty sure that whoever he is and what's going on there, I think there's a relationship. I don't think those were police. They sounded like they were bouncers, like he went to a certain place where he's supposed to go to get shots. But once again, it's still religion. The courts are corrupt, though. The whole system is corrupt from the bottom to the top, to the top to the bottom. So whatever the court said, not too interested. But everything does need to change, bro. Everything has to change. It's wrong to me. Megs, the whole system is wrong. It's all wrong. It's wrong to me too. The whole system is wrong. But that's why everything needs to change. She's a biological flat earth equivalent. Who is Beaufort? Good morning. Got the biscuits on the second cup of coffee. That sounds like a good morning, Trisha. Ain't no violence over there. You don't need any tanks or MRAPs or National Guard yet. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Lots of laughter. What doesn't make sense, Meg? Why would she be wearing? I'm just reading through comments. Why would she be wearing that garb? She truly believed her contention. Oh, right. Oh, the lady up there. Yeah. I don't believe that one. But this one too is entertainment, right? Like all these entertaining videos that are coming down. I think she's YouTube. I can't go over there. All these entertaining videos coming out. It's disaster capitalism to a degree too. Entertainers are making a mint. Corporations are making a mint. Political parties are making a mint. People ain't making a damn thing. But everybody who can is feeding into gaining profit, power, likes, subscriptions, whatever, in this. Most of us. Others are hiding on YouTube and staying away from Facebook. But even still, here I'm building something on YouTube. Everybody is feeding into it, and so she had to do hair. I just don't believe her both because she got that rag on her head, and I'll go back to it. It didn't look like a credible video, but it doesn't really matter what I believe. The bottom line is, we shouldn't be where we are here today, I think. All right. Oh yes, Bill was passionate. Bill is passionate, Christine. Bill is a real guy. He is a very real person saying very real things. I appreciate Bill. Bill is not faking the funk. Like last night, Ty and Tony were going back and forth. And I enjoyed it. I got in trouble. People say I'm not supposed to be enjoying. I enjoyed it. I did. They was cussing each other out. I was having so much fun. That's where I grew up. I grew up with very passionate people who communicated through cussing each other out. And they never took it personally. Those brothers have passion and they have the ability to do what I can't do. They can cuss each other out and still be friends and whatever and ever. I can't do that. I don't have that function. I don't have that upgrade. I wish I did, but I don't. How I grew up in my particular culture, in my particular group, in the circles I went in, you start cussing somebody out, this only goes one way. There's a reason why I'm the old love everybody hippie. Oh, this one was important. Did I show this one yesterday? Did y'all see this one yesterday? No, I don't think we showed this one yesterday. This was the one from New York. I went to work. This is what I'm saying. We don't know what's going on. Like rhesus monkeys, and we actually don't know what's true. We just know we're being lied to. I work for Well Cornell Medicine on 68th in York. I do comparative pathology research. We deal with biohazardous materials and radiation particles. We inject animals like rhesus monkeys, rats, and mice with diseases and radioactive agents. 2 weeks ago, when I went to work, I noticed the security guards were in Tyvek hazmat suits and they were armed, which is not normal, but I didn't pay it any mind. I go upstairs to work, I clock in, my boss is like, yo, listen, you're not needed, but we need you to surrender your Geiger counter.
My Geiger counter was attached to my ID because we deal with radiation emissions in my department on the 7th floor, which is the only department that deals with radiation. But they wanted me to surrender my Geiger counter. When I left work, the only people that were left in my building's facility were the scientists, the professors, the researchers, and security guards that were armed. It's not the virus that's getting people sick. It's 5G network from the radiation. And the reason why they have me surrender my Geiger counter is so if I'm in a proximity of people that have 5G networks, my Geiger counter is going to detect that I'm in a proximity of radiation. That's what's getting people sick. That's what's getting people with respiratory issues. That's why some people are dying. Now, my homie works for Verizon. He got a message via email from corporate instructing him and his 100-man crew to pump 5G network cables throughout the tri-state area, whether buildings or houses were abandoned or not. The letter said, if your crew gets sick, we'll send them home and you keep on working. Don't worry, when they say that the oil is short, you'll be first dibs to get the oil.
The oil you take care of.
Exactly.
I don't know what you think about that. I can tell you what I think about that. I once again, I like to ask questions. And when you tell me the critical people during a pandemic are doctors, nurses, medical workers, food services, and 5G installation towers, or people who are doing what's that called? Telecommunications work. Something is up. I'm not saying that it's the 5G. Like I said, I don't need to do conspiracy. They don't need to have the truth. But I can tell you that if you look outside and you see Verizon trucks driving around, you see Comcast trucks driving around, then you know that something ain't right. And I see them. I see Comcast, I see Verizon, I see them on the wires. I don't see a rushed implementation of anything that I, would know is 5G. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to, he showed his badge, he told you where he worked, he showed you, and he still could be faking. But are they supposed to have a 5G? Are they supposed to have a 4G? But would a government who's concerned about your immune system be rolling out during your immune system being attacked by bacteria, a system that hampers your immune system, DNA damage through 4G? If your government cared about you, once again, I think I said this the other day, they'd be turning off 4G and they'd be going back to 3G, because 4G was proven to cause cancer, DNA damage, problems with the brain, sweat glands, and whatever the other things the doctor said in that Michigan video. So it should be proven. I think it's provable, actually. I think it's provable in the court of law. If we all went to the court of law, all 7 billion of us, we got the aliens, the watchers, we all got together, got in the court. we have enough evidence to prove that what's going on is not what they're saying is going on. There are too many pieces that don't fit and don't add up. There are definitely some sort of rumors of war, struggle between billionaires and trillionaires, lies, deceit, World Health Organization, CDC, all the people that you trust, Bill Gates, he all over the TV. All over the TV. But Gerard, how would you know that? You don't watch TV. Because one, I don't really know that. I see people posting things and I see him talking all the time. I watch live streamers. I watch people on YouTube and they're constantly showing Bill Gates on different channels talking about how he's going to save everybody. And Dr. Buttar said he owns the patents to one of the coronas along with a few other pharmaceutical companies. So I already don't trust him. I already don't trust him because of the syphilis experiments. I already don't trust him because of what he did in Latin America and Africa. But I think we could prove in a court of law that this is criminal activity outside of the CIA guys saying it. Overplayed, overlaid. Yeah, if you can do it, it'll work. Hoax, pandemic. It is, to me, hoax is kind of a strong word, Lori. I was talking to somebody, who was that? Brother Joe or somebody on the thread yesterday. Hoax is a pretty strong word. I like false flag. I like taking flu season and dramatizing it, to take over a currency or a country or give everybody forced vaccinations. I don't know. 5G is horrible. It is horrible. And it shouldn't exist, Miss Tree. No, it's rape. It's cellular rape. I'm inventing a new phrase, Miss Tree. It's a cellular rape. Nobody consented to this. I mean, we can have a 5G if everybody agrees to have waves being shot through them. And there's only one way people would agree to that, is if you show them that there is absolutely no harm to this. And I think we can do that. We just have to seize this day, seize that opportunity, and say no, and walk away from the system. But you can't actually force anything into anybody else. And that's what 4G does. That's what 3G did, and it's what 5G is going to do. And at some point in time, people got to question. Instead of claiming to know what we aren't in a position to know, we need to take, we need to learn how to figure out what is untrue with what is available. Yes, Beaufont. I got to go to that comment because I can't see it on the screen. I got to go to it. That was a deep. I was always throwing out something strong. Oh, dang it, you threw out a whole bunch of, y'all been talking. Y'all kind of talky this morning. What y'all in the house? Are y'all trapped in the house? I know Lori ain't. Y'all kind of talkative today. Instead of claiming to know what we aren't in a position to know, we need to learn how to figure out what is untrue with what is available. Do you understand what Beaufont is saying? I love this man. This man is off the hook. Instead of like trying to prove, I'm gonna put it in the package for Tony Tide discussion. Instead of trying to prove if Q is right or wrong in terms of it, well, if we should trust him or not, if he's a hero or a villain, or he's a he or a she, what does it matter? You don't know. We have no idea. Those are all the secret battles, the rumors of wars, the things that are happening behind the curtains. Take what you know and prove what there is that you don't know. And you know there is no pandemic destroying human life around this world in a way that justifies killing more human life by shutting it down. We know that. That's provable. So if we know that what the popular narrative is on the 80 mass media stations who are owned by the same, 6 or 8 corporations now, then you know they're all in cahoots. And cahoots at that level means there could be cahoots at the World Health Organization, the CDC, and the Bill Gates, and all these other levels. We have a chance to change everything. If you listen to what Beaufont is saying right there, don't worry about proving the things you can't prove. That's a waste of your time. It's a waste of everybody's time. It's a fantasy thing that's fun when people ain't dying. Now that people are really in trouble and we're on the cusp of people coming out of their house and going to find food, and the National Guard clamping down on everyone, and this plan playing out the way that somebody designed it to, and probably various organizations and industries and groups are all working on how to make profit out of, we say no. International financial coup. That sounds about right, Rebecca, because the things that are happening at at a level we can't see, it has to be something that's beyond the realms of government and little nonsense they're talking about in the media. Donna Ashiel busted this open from the beginning when it happened in Wuhan. I didn't see the video, or I did, Patricia, and I don't remember the name. But the fact is, like what Beaufont said, when somebody said this is what's going on, and they said it before anybody else had a clue, that's somebody you need to go listen to. Try pneumonia with lung fibrosis caused by EMF radiation and 5G. And that's what they're saying. The side effects line right up with EMF poisoning, EMF radiation. Somebody should do a check. I'm an IT guy, but I can't tell you that I know that this would work. There actually is an app. There's an app that you can supposedly use on a Droid phone if you block the camera, and because of the way the lens is, that somehow it picks up EMF radiation amounts that you have to calibrate it. There's actually a video that shows how to do that. It would be interesting if that were true. It's stretching it for me. It's stretching it that you can make some sort of not really a Geiger counter, but a way to pick up the radiation that's coming off these towers. That would be interesting. But yeah, but the symptoms sync right up. And to me, Patricia, that's not beyond what I think the court kings and lords would do. right? If you'll drop bombs on babies' heads, you have no issue putting up 5G towers and cactuses and trees and creating a rumor of a war on my immune system, especially if you'll make hundreds of billions of dollars and your name is Bill Gates, because people will run and scream for the doctor to give them a vaccine instead of get off me, bro. Don't tase me, bro. You can keep your religion to yourself. This is kind of a mixture of Sandy Hook was a pure hoax where nobody died. I don't know anything about Sandy Hook, Patricia. I don't know anything. I do know that I was on the fence with it, and after that lawsuit and Alex Jones caved, I think something happened. I'm not sure that we ever know what's true, but I think something happened. Because that was when Alex Jones caved, right? Like he was, Chi-Coms. I was mad too last night, Patricia. I don't know if you saw the video. Nobody would tell me who the Chi-Coms. Who the Chi-Coms? What does he say? Chi-Coms. I used to listen to Alex Jones. I had his app before 2016, and everybody went crazy and said the man is racist. And I'm like, this man is not racist. He's a fool. He's a shock jock, but he was right about a lot of things. He was right about the, we wouldn't know anything about the crowds for hire and protest if it weren't for him. We wouldn't know anything about the Skull and Bones. He revealed that. Chi-Coms. But anyway, he actually, during that trial, he made a few statements I think people missed out on. He said, people, I'm an actor. He said, judge, I'm an actor. I have a personality. I've invented this personality. And he's not accountable for people who believe the personality. He's an entertainer. It's entertainment. And I wish people would take that and apply that to Q. I really wish they would. I wish they'd take that and apply that to Barack Obama. I wish they'd take that and apply that to Hillary Clinton. I wish they'd take that and apply that to Bill Gates. People build up personalities just like Bro Man and just like the lady in the blue smock. I'm just already suspicious. I have friends who work in hospitals, and when they send me, I have never seen them in their hospital. I've never seen them in the blue smock and the headdress and the bootsies and stuff, filming in the hospital. Most of them people on their breaks, they got to get the hell out. Do you do films at work? Do you do live streams at work? Nah, it was somebody trying to convince you that they work in a hospital. But actors, got to be wary of the actors. People are acting. There are a lot of entertainers out there, and they're very good at what they do. And they should do it. On a planet where everything is biological, everything needs energy, of course everyone's trying to get your energy. But yeah, so I don't know. So to me, Patricia Hauser, when he caved and said, listen, I'm an actor, Judge. This isn't my responsibility. I think at that point, I think something happened there. I don't think we know the whole truth about any of it, but everything is a false flag. Everything is played up and dramatized so people can gain following, money, and force vaccinations, laws, anything they can do to gain from it. It's always disaster capitalism. Everybody is a profiteer when profit is required for you to eat. He said only 5 people died on the flu by now. Dang it, my eyes. Who is that, Christine? All right, he said only 5 people died of the flu by now. Where he is, it's very calm, but level 1 and 2 are so-called all corona patients. His colleagues are exhausted, only 24/7. The thing I find interesting, Christine, about the whole how many people died stuff, I don't believe none of it no more. I don't believe any of it. I think after we found out that the doctors were complaining that they were told to put the cause of death as the coronavirus, if they have any corona, I guess, is it antibodies or whatever that is in them, if they had a heart attack, pneumonia, HIV, whatever they're dying from, they're supposed to list coronavirus. Now, I don't know if that was a mistake. I don't know if that was an oversight. I don't know if it was a plan from the top that came down. I don't know if it was insurance companies because they got that thing called the pandemic clause. The pandemic clause. Anybody here that works in insurance where they say that if you die during a pandemic that they're not responsible, so maybe they just didn't want to pay out. Once again, everybody trying to make money from it. But I don't trust any of the statistics. And I believe it was Buttar, I don't think it was Shiva, the two doctors I'm listening to at this point in time. I think Del Bigtree might have mentioned that as well, or one of the doctors on his show might have mentioned it. You can't trust any of the statistics. The news is lying, the insurance companies are lying, and the doctors were told to lie. But I think Buttar said they reversed it. So I don't know if that was just his area, his hospital, his region, his state, the insurance companies he worked with. But the point is, we can't trust any of it. You know, there is a plan to this whole thing. Follow the money. Who is that? AB, follow the money. Oh my goodness. Key Bono. And this gets back to what Beaufort said. Always focus on what you can prove and ignore the things that you have no evidence for. Follow the money. Bill Gates is making the money, trillions of billions of dollars. They're making money rolling out this 5G. The military industrial complex is getting a boost. DARPA whistleblowers are telling you that we need to change and that we shouldn't have the technology that we have. Everybody knows that you need to walk away from the system. I'm with Ron Paul and Del Bigtree. I am too, Lori. You know why? For the same reason I'm with Lori Riley. Lori Riley turned on her industry. She still works there. She's saying the truthful things about it. Ron Paul turned on his industry. He turned on the Republicans and the Democrats. Ron Paul is a fool. I love that man. I love him to death. He turned on everybody. He'd get down there on that Congress floor, tell everybody where they need to go. And they wouldn't listen one bit. And if Congress is stealing all my rights to give all my money to their criminal friends on Wall Street, anybody who stands against them that they're turned away from, Ron Paul get to talk and they would walk out. He turned on his industry. Del Bigtree turned on his industry. And he's not a doctor, Del Bigtree. What, he's a PhD, to say it right? But, you know, he's someone who, he was on the show The Doctors, and he turned on them, and they threw him off the show. Beaufort, I feel like Q was maybe created to hold the attention of many who are discontent. And I think that's right, Max. I think it's right. And it doesn't mean that what Q didn't say isn't true. It doesn't mean that what Leghorn Foghorn says isn't true. It doesn't mean anything Snoopy said is true. It doesn't mean anything Barack Obama said is true. It just means that they're always using things to hide the truth from us. They're always using cactuses. They're always using rumors of the conflicts, whether they're financial or for grades in high school or college or whatever. They're always trying to hide things. And if they he who controls the narrative controls the future. If you control what people see and you control what people know, and you can get them to believe that they're out there rescuing children, then okay. You know, if they can get you to believe that you got heroes in a world that there are none. They're heroic acts, but there aren't really heroes. And anyone who gets your blind following, they seem like they turn to the dark side. You can't have any heroes. So I agree. I think that it's misguiding the populace, and I think it's dangerous. I think trusting Q is dangerous. I think trusting Ron Paul is dangerous. I think trusting Del Bigtree is dangerous. I think trusting anybody blindly is dangerous. I think you need to trust your own brain. You got that big bag of jelly on your shoulders and you need to use it, right? Look at what makes sense to you. Listen to what they're saying. Look at how your world works. Study your history and ask yourself what AB said. Is somebody making money off of this? Right. And then you stand on a position from there. But yeah, I don't believe any of them. I don't think I'm not looking for a savior. Like I was telling Ty this morning, I don't want a savior. I'm good. I don't need one. I don't need a hero. You know, Q says truthful things. That CIA guy said truthful things, but I don't need a hero and I don't need a villain either. I don't need neither one of them. I'm not looking for a savior. I don't think he trusts Q because I don't think he came from an industry that allows trust to get killed. If and that's where he came from. I don't need to trust an identity. Remove all the identities and just focus on the what you can see and what you can tell, and don't give anybody your identity or your trust, or don't attach your identity to anybody else. I don't trust a damn thing about our government. And Lori Riley, that's because you read books. You use that bag of jelly between your shoulders, and you don't trust the television. They get a speed course, how to treat corona patients, but they believe it. Yeah, I heard about that, Christine. So they are being trained. That's not fake. They're definitely training nurses on how to deal with high, I'm not even gonna say it right, so I'm not gonna say it. I misquote things and I gotta be careful. So they are training nurses to get them ready. For what? Well, if they're hustling to get 5G out there as quick as they can, They're still working. They are critical, essential people. Your 5G installers and the people who work on those towers are essential employees, along with people who give food and medical treatment to people. It means that they are getting ready for something. And I think Bill Gates already told us that. He said, well, this thing might not blow away. It might go away and come back in September. So we need to keep people on lockdown and keep working until we get the vaccine. Well, if they know that they can get enough of these towers up, they can get blasting and they can create immune system problems or symptoms that seem like they got the cuckoo virus, then that actually makes some sense. That's why, Lori, I talk to you and I'll talk to nurses and people that I know and doctors that I know off the record, so I know which one of these videos people are posting is making sense. If the government looks and sound like it's lying, it probably is. You know what, Lori? I think when they're lying when their mouth is open, because I think they're supposed to. I think that they are a power-based system that requires more power, and it only gets more power if it gets my trust. So I think they'll say anything that'll get me to trust them. And we have proven narratives of that from 2016 and every single election. They're required to lie, which is why I don't blame them. It's their job. We consented to have people rule us who lied to us. As an estimator, I would be interested in getting data on ventilators, capacity, and usages, etc., as a possible statistical correlation. See, and these are the things that why Beaufont and I really get down, because he has an analytical mind, right? So a lot of what he's talking about here is data. Like, you can tell if they're even using the ventilators. You can tell if they're hooked up by the pull from the power grid, right? If we had an open source world where you could go out and you could pull down the data of what's being used and what's not, you would see the power usage go through the roof in hospitals, and you would know which hospitals are busy and not. But that's an open source world where we software engineers could actually write data to give you the truth, open source, so you can make up your own mind. So you would know exactly when the media is lying. And this is why I'm definitely, I don't say I'm on a team, but I agree with the open source world, because you don't have to trust anybody when everything is known. When you don't have a secret government, you don't have people with secret databases, everything can be known. I mean, even if you believe in voting, right? Back when we thought the problem was the election system. Y'all remember that? Good times, good times. Back when the problem was the election system, not the global elite. Well, it even fixed that. Right, if everything were open source, after the election, you don't give Homeland Security the data. You don't give the Democrats, Republicans, or the states the data. You make the data open source. And people like me go and write software to write audit software. And you got 1,000 engineers who ain't got nothing else to do but to make sure that the government ain't lying. We write software to correlate the votes with the audit from the actual raw data. And you would know who everybody voted for. But for me, like I said, I'm not a big believer in democracy anymore. I don't believe in because most people agree to it that we should do it. Like, that's why Bro was getting it early. Why? Because most people agreed to it, so he got it, and they gave him that shot. 4G is bad enough. Have a friend and could probably obtain her brain tumor surgery photos. 4G is bad enough, Miss Tree. I would say 3G is probably bad enough, but it wasn't until 4G till we found out that it was dangerous, right? It wasn't until we got to that 4.2 gigahertz before the danger was so obvious that it became news. We know the electric grid is dangerous, right? There are people who have that EMF sensitivity. There are people who can't even be in a house with electricity on, and that's proven. So, unfortunately, when it comes to the democracy, if the majority are okay with it, then everybody gets it, and I'm not okay with that. If one person is harmed, it has to stop. They need to take that technology back to the drawing table until they can figure out how to do it in a way that's methodical, but it doesn't hurt anybody. I don't think there are any side effects. I don't think there are any what do they call it when they go out and they bomb a city and blow up a bunch of people to get one terrorist and end up killing kids playing soccer? I don't think that there are any collateral damage. That's what it is. I don't think there's collateral damage. You did that, you're a killer, you're a murderer. No Barack Obama. There's no such thing as collateral damage. You murdered people. The same thing with Trump. No, you killed people. That's not collateral damage. Well, I'm doing it to keep you safe. You're not keeping me safe by killing kids in a country 8,000 miles away. That's not keeping me safe. You need to keep me safe from these corporations. You need to keep me safe from this Congress, Senate, and the people who pass this bill that when we need money, They give us an IRS tax credit and they take our money and give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. That's who you need to protect me from. You don't need to protect me from some 5-year-old playing soccer in Palestine. Anyway, he should join Ty and Tony. Who should? Christine, who should join Ty and Tony? Yes, Lori, we live in an Orwellian society. Yes, 1984 is 2020 and 1984 should not have been an instruction manual. But it will be, longer they keep these people locked in their homes without their the things that they need to live. People will do anything they can to get out these houses at a certain point in time. I don't want to be with Tony. If you mean me, Christine, I don't want to be with Tony and Ty. Nope, not me. No, I think they should have a debate on their own. I don't need to be in that. I don't believe Q and I don't disbelieve Q. I think there's truthful information, and to me, the source does not matter. I'm super sensitive to all things unnatural. And so Miss Tree needs to live in an area where we don't want to have lightning fast internet that ruins Miss Tree's lifestyle and livelihood. Ventilators need skill to operate correctly. Okay. It's a pandemic, Sandra, I agree with you. CDC ordered doctors to put the cause on death as COVID, even if the main cause was something else. Why? Well, that's what nobody knows, Ivana. Right? Like, so this is the whole thing about, okay, so the doctor said it, so we know it's a problem. Now the question is why and how much was it done? But you know not to trust any statistics. The way my mind works, the closest thing that makes sense is the insurance companies. They don't ever want to pay. That's why they have the investigators, right? They don't want to pay. And so when an accident happens, they do anything they can to pretend that it's not their fault or it's your fault. They don't want to protect, they don't want to pay. And so they have the pandemic clause. And the pandemic clause says, yeah, they got to pay your life insurance for everything but a pandemic. And so people who have that in their policy and don't know that that's in their policy are in big trouble. And so this gets back to, was it Texas where they got caught doing it? Somebody posted that earlier, where their grandmother died of some condition and they put COVID. And the family went back and said, no, the media is lying. This was not COVID. The doctor, we went to the doctor and they put as the leading cause of death and said, no, our grandmother was dying and she was supposed to die. And she did, maybe she died sooner, but she didn't die of COVID. And they called the news out. Somebody posted that link. So we know they've been doing it and the doctors are now confirming it. So you know not to trust any statistics. You know that they're making a lot of this up. But at the first stop, I would stop on that, Ivan. It's just the insurance companies. They're going to make more money if they don't have to pay out policies. And the problem is, but they got the pandemonium going, right? Like people are scared and angry and they'll gain profit if their mother or their daughter or somebody they know, oh, she died of COVID. The doctor said she died of COVID. Meanwhile, she had a terminal illness 4 months ago, but she died with COVID. And that would be the second, because I guess you got a first and a second cause of death or something like that. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. But the insurance company will win, so they don't have to pay out the life insurance policy, and the family have no idea that that's happening. They go along with it, and they agree, and they don't contest it because they're watching the news, and the news, they're watching everybody else dying, they're watching the numbers going up, and you get this whole narrative avalanche rolling downhill of this COVID thing is killing everybody, and nobody questioning it. Oh, but they'll question it later. They'll question it later when they see that life insurance policy. Well, we supposed to get $400,000 to help pay for grandmama, and wait, we're not gonna get it because she died during a pandemic. Oh, to me, and so Ivana, but from there goes into my mind of what I think might be going on. I know insurance companies do that. They got whole investigation teams, but auto insurance companies do that. But then above that, what better way to get rid of an ailing population or reduce the population, which kings and lords have always done from the beginning of time without having any fallout? They just convince people there's a pandemic that's spreading across the planet that's killing a lot of people, and the insurance companies aren't really liable. So that's kind of what I think. Beaufort should join. I think Beaufort should, Christine. I think y'all should encourage. I don't know why. Beaufort, you know what? Maybe I'll see if I can facilitate. Oh, dang it. They like Facebook, though. I don't know about that. I might get some germs on me if I go live on Facebook again. Pull them all together in a panel, you think, Christine? Let them have a discussion. I'm gonna stay out of it though. I don't get involved in stuff. Not with my friends. Because does Beaufont cuss? Because he'd have to be able to cuss. He had to get it, because you got to cuss with the best of you. If you want to go with Tony and Ty, Beaufont, you got to bring your A game. Don't nobody cuss like Tony and Ty. I enjoy cussing. I don't cuss, but I enjoy people who can cuss. I can't cuss. I suck at it. I started sucking at it somewhere around college. I was great cussing as a kid. I'd cuss, my mama wasn't around. I'd cuss at school. Because you had to survive. You die in the Washington, D.C. area. You know how to cuss and handle yourself. But I met this weird dude in college named Frank. He's like, yeah, I don't cuss. And I'm like, man, what's wrong with you? Is you broken? I was like, what's wrong with you, Frank? I had this big old afro. Yeah, I don't cuss. I'm like, dude, you something wrong with you. And he didn't cuss. He ain't lying. He's not lying. In college, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. We stayed in a dorm it was called Nuttall Hall. And we had open windows. And we'd open the windows, let fresh air in, because almost grown men stink, and we didn't like the smell in the dorm. I went to UMES. And the wind would blow through. And we had these big, heavy doors, right? And a lot of funny memories come to mind. We used to lock our friends in their dorm room so they couldn't go to class. We'd actually take pennies and you would like put them between the door jamb and the door, because they were real heavy doors, and you couldn't open the door. Anyway, that's not the point. And the door closed on his finger one day. Like the wind blew, and that door closed. Wham! Crunch! Like, oh man, Frank. And I just knew I was gonna hear all kind of foul, filth, funky, flip, loud, foreign, flow, fun. And that's exactly what I heard too. I didn't hear one four-letter word out of his mouth. And so anyway, that changed me. I was like, dang, wow, you can actually communicate without like offending people with like, but anyway. I won't go down there. But you're gonna have to cuss with them, both fine. You're gonna have to step up your cuss game, because they can cuss each other out and they love each other and friends. I don't work that way. I avoid useless conflict. That's what it is with me. I don't like useless conflict. Like if we want to fight over if the Loch Ness Monster and the Bigfoot and the aliens and UFOs and fairy and dragons and stuff, I don't have the energy to invest in that. I like when people post things, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess dragons could exist, because you got creatures that make this thing, it's flammable. You got other creatures that light a spark. You got lightning bugs that can light up. Then I guess you could have a dragon biologically that could breathe fire. It makes some damn sense. Alexander the Great went over to China and said, these idiots is riding on big lizards. What the hell? And he didn't know what a dinosaur was back then. Then it makes sense to me. China has some dinosaurs, the Aborigines. Talked about stories of dragons. That makes them, okay, it's possible that we existed during some dragons. You got that tribe down in Africa, keep seeing that damn dinosaur clogging up their waterways where they go fishing. All right, that makes some sense. Yeah, dragons could exist. But if you want to have an argument over dragons, man, I'm sorry. You want to have an argument over Q, A, B, C, elemental Q, P, Z, or 7? You want to have an argument over anything fantasy like Democrats and Republicans and nations or these concepts of I'm a slave and these are my masters? I don't have energy for those debates. I don't debate anymore. I don't really care. The aliens are green. No, the aliens are gray. Okay, thank you. I got plans to plan. I don't get in those discussions. I think both might though. I can't do it. It's too much energy for me. Late watching Dr. Young. Drink your healthy fluids, H2O, clean those cells. Oh, I'm glad you said that, Jennifer Carroll. Because I think we live in a beautiful time. I think horrible things are happening, Jennifer Carroll, but I think we live in a beautiful time. Because you know why? One, I think we're witnessing if not the end, the forever transformation of the medical industry. Bro, I think everything gonna change, bro. I think he was right. I think it's gonna change. Because a lot of people are now looking up how to live healthy. People are looking up how to boost their immune system. The news is scaring them into being humans again and eating human food and drinking human water, right? It's showing them that the processed foods and the GMOs and the chemicals and all the pesticides and all the things that their government stipends is poisoning them into being susceptible to disease. So I appreciate the fact that on the other side of this, I think the organic industry is going to be booming. I think the hemp industry is going to be booming. I think the cannabis industry is going to be booming. And we're going to need to boom because we're going to have 40% unemployment. So I think we live in a great time. I think when bad things come, good things come out of them. I think a lot of people are going to eat more healthy. I think they're going to eat less meat. I think they're not going to eat that bacon for breakfast. They might drink a smoothie, eat an apple or something, and that's a good time to live in. So I think we're going to have a great time of health. Part of me thinks that the medical industry was failing. I think that the organic and the natural industry was starting to get to them. I think the war on drugs coming to an end was starting to bother them. I think the naturopathic doctors that were popping up everywhere were cutting into their profits. No, their profit, I'm pretty sure, was still going up. But I think they could see that it wasn't going up as high as it's supposed to, or they were planning to, rolling out those new facilities in India and China and Malaysia, where all the manufacturing of these pharmaceuticals is going. And I think that they just needed an economic reason to remain viable, and that's forced vaccination all over the planet. Although I did get a post this morning from somebody from Twitter. Let me see if I can show you this. I want to close off with this because I might lose the comments. It was based someone on Twitter saying, you know, this is the world. Marriott sent this to me. See, do you like this world? This is the world. Oh, you know what? This is the world without vaccination. This is what it's like. What do you think about that? Let me see if I can share with you. This is what the world looks out like without vaccination. Do you like it? Do you like it? And I had a rebuttal for that. I didn't post it on Twitter. I'm still learning how to use Twitter. I'm not good at twitting. I'm not good at twitting. I'm gonna try to get good at it. Here we go, right here. I'll show this to you. This was on Twitter. And this is the fake false news file stuff that's coming out. And we need the hippies and the witches and the warlocks and people who actually know what health is to actually respond to this stuff. Carlos A. Rodriguez. Carlos Happy NPO. I don't even know what that is. Non-player unorganicism. I have no idea. He said, those who wanted a world with no vaccines, here's a world with one vaccine. I disagree with all of this. First of all, wait a minute, hang on. Wait a minute. I gotta read this again. Oh. Here's the world with one vaccine. Actually, you know what? I take this back. I don't even know what he's saying no more. For those who wanted a world with no vaccine, here's the world with one vaccine. That doesn't make any sense to me. No, my point still applies. It doesn't make any sense to me. So it looks like he's swinging at people who don't want to get vaccines. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute. This isn't a world with one vaccine. This is a world with forced vaccinations. This is a world where you got 127 forced vaccinations for little kids. This is the result. We've always had forced vaccines. Like people say, oh, well, forced vaccines are coming. No, they're not. You're only saying that because you have adult privilege, right? When you were a child, you only had 8. You only had 20. Now it was 126 before your age 14 or something crazy like that. Say it's 70. I don't know. I don't want to say fake news. I don't know. It shouldn't be 1. So we've always had mandatory vaccinations. The only difference is now they're including the adult population in on it. Which is kind of interesting. So now you care. You didn't care when kids are being forced vaccinated. Now you care that you might get one. But the point is that no, this isn't the world with one vaccination. We've always had it. They're just adding one more to the fleet of massively profitable, unproven, synthetic chemicals with animal tissue injected in people that we know from a CDC whistleblower is questionable. Why in the world would you want to continue in this path of breaking herd immunity, of breaking real, natural, organic, long-term, billion-year-old herd immunity with an idea that started from George Washington, a man who wore a white wig and a feather pen, which is based in some science, right? This had to do with the war, and at that time it was the chicken pox or whatever. And they take a little piece of tissue out of the person and put it in you, and your body learn how to fight it, and you develop some immunity. It's based in science. And there's a whole lot of faith in that too, because other people are killed, other people are harmed. That's why they got a vaccine defense fund. So no, we've always had forced vaccinations. They're just including the adults in on it, and they're just adding one more. I think we need to go back to real herd immunity. I think we stop with synthetic immunity. But once again, I think great things can come out of this stuff, right? We can start to have these discussions and whether or not we want to continue in this direction. If the herd, national security is a healthy population. If you got a healthy population, your nation's secure. You don't have to worry about this nonsense coming through. Was 9/11? Wait a minute. While 9/11 was a false flag, thousands died. Well, Patricia, that's why I don't doubt this is a false flag, right? We never did anything about 9/11. You still got most people who think the government told them the truth. And 9/11 was an outside job. 9/11 was an inside job. And you've had enough general. You had the general who told you that. You got the firefighters who told you that. You got the New York Firefighters Association that's telling you that you need to have a reinvestigation because it does look like these were planted charges, new evidence. Oh yeah, but if people believed in that, then it makes sense that they could pull off a worldwide scheme if people are this gullible. I think a great thing that's going to come out of this is the mass media is going to die. Of course, it's not going to look the same on the other side of this, And how do we do our part? Well, I'm doing my part. My part is I'm on here running my mouth. I'm on here trying to say, listen, this doesn't make any sense. What Beaufont said, we need to be honest about the things we don't know. And then be honest about the things that we do know. And honest about the things that we need to know. And stop at that point. This is a real time. Very real things are happening right now. But yeah, a worldwide, powerful, global elite that wage war against each other and all agree to wage war against us with banks and economics and currencies and enslavement of nations would definitely try to pull this off because they got away with 9/11. Taking a walk so I don't kill my children. Yeah, and Susan, I think about the privilege of the fact of people who have places who can walk their kids. I'm thinking about the people who have kids in apartment buildings in cities and they literally can't go outside or they'll get fined. I think it was Australia and other places that they already have the draconian laws where they're arresting people who come outside. To me, none of that. You don't have the ability to stop people from going outside. That's the craziest thing on the planet to me. It's insanity. Who's going to pay for this? Well, the government's going to have to pay for it. They're the ones who shut everything down. It was their idea to deal with this flu season. Outside of any thoughts of conspiracy, power, economics, follow the money, they are the ones who did this. They're the ones. Say, oh, well, I don't want to get thrown out of my house or my business or whatever. You shouldn't be. You didn't do this. Why would you pay for it? They're just trying. They will get away with as much as you let them. As much as you let them. And if you let them say, oh, well, they're going to throw you out your house or your business, they're going to take your car back, if the banks are to come do, the banks are involved with this stuff. But if you take this back to root cause, it was all governments all across the world. You had to make them pay. You have to make them pay. Or otherwise, they're going to get away with passing the buck to you. While they write you a stimulus check, a stimulus IRS tax credit that they might take all or more back than they gave you. While they gave your cold hard cash to their criminal friends on Wall Street. All right, being married, but yeah, Susan, I think about the kids who can't get outside. This is slavery. You still think you're free? Anyone free? Anybody feel like singing America the Beautiful? Does anybody who's actually paying attention feel like singing how great of a land and how we have liberties and freedom and this is wonderful? Or you think that they're actually doing this because the kings and lords are going to arrest pedophiles, their friends? All of these people together, you think they're going to arrest their friends and their friends' children who hurt children, and it's never happened in history. That's what I'm saying. There are things that Q says are true, but then there's a whole greater blind faith narrative and fantasy that they always lock people into because it gets people to not pay attention to what the real problem is. Because when they're all done fighting, say all 20 of these people in this picture are fighting, when they're all done fighting, they want the world to remain intact. Like it's pointless to burn the world if you can't own it. It's pointless. Why would you burn up an entire world when you want it just to be your turn to run it? You want your family to benefit from the control of owning the banking systems and the industries and the currencies, right? They don't want to burn the world up. They want it to be intact. They want people to trust in it on the other side of this. So I don't think that they're suicidal. I think that they're just very powerful people and they want to make sure they keep the slave plantation. They're just battling over who gets to control it. Just join. Who's the guy in the middle? Well, who is that? Sandra. His name is Gerard. He's a bald dude. He doesn't believe in government. He doesn't trust in authority and power. He has his own belief systems. He believes that they're for him. He is not an identity. He's not an American. He's not black. He's not this Irish. He's not African. He's not any of that. He's not a religion. He's just a dude. If that's who you're asking about. But if you're asking about, he believes in principles. He believes in everybody's free. He believes everybody's a God and God is. He believes Yeshua Christ said, greater things I will do, you will do. So everybody's God's. He believes you should love everybody, take care of everybody, look out for your neighbors, and we're all here for a purpose. That's what he believes, Sandra. Many broken people due to isolation, definitely. Oh, there are. But if in terms of this picture, what you're talking about, which might be what Sandra's talking about, is there actually is a guy that's beneath me. I'm not sure I can show him. I might have to get a picture of him. There's a guy that's behind me. When they got together to take this picture, it was for a purpose. Where's the picture without their mask? There we go. Without their masks. This one right here. There's a guy in the middle. And maybe that's who she's talking about. Y'all see him in the middle? He just didn't bring his skin with him. He didn't bring his blood, his heart, and he's not alive. Right there. Right there in the middle. It's a Native American. It's a Native American skull. And this is part of the whole skull and bone secret society. In the middle, that's actually not a Native American. That's us. That's us. We're the slaves. We are in this picture, we are the ones of no power. We are the ones that they always rule. They may fight against each other. You might have industries fighting and global elites and families fighting over control of us, but they're not fighting for us to be alive. They're fighting us for us to remain dead. They're not fighting for our freedom. They're just fighting over who gets to control the global world power. That's why everything's going to change, bro. Everything's going to change. All right, let me see. Yeah, get out and run. That sounds like a good idea. I'm sending mine to the lake to fish today. Ooh, when it warms up. Mile there and back, that'll keep them calm. Yes, that's a good idea, Trish. We got to get outside, eat fresh food, and move around. The system does anything and everything to hold your attention hostage, from MSN to reports, patents, laws, agendas, and controlled opposition, political leaders, CEOs, etc. Bofon. Man, you always dropping it. That's a that might be hate speech. That's what the system does, and that's how it works. All the system needs is your compliance. As long as you comply with it, that sucker's rolling. That sucker is rolling. All they got to do is distract people with a Q, an L, a B, an LMNOP, or anonymous, and Democrats and Republicans, and the system's going to make its money keeping a slave plantation. People ever start waking up and just stand on principles and stop having heroes and underoos, great things are going to happen. Yes, Geronimo was a fierce fighter, Christine. And Geronimo fought the fight he had to fight in his day, right? It was a physical fight. It was a fight where you could see your enemy. Right? So he fought with bows and arrows. You can see your enemy and guns. You can't see your enemy anymore. And I think that's the powerful that statement of rumors of war. If you know you can't see your enemy, who do you shoot? You're going to shoot in the darkness? You're going to shoot because Q says that's your enemy? You're going to shoot because Obama says that's your enemy? You're going to shoot because Trump says that's your enemy? I don't think that's what a wise person would do. I don't think in the art of war you shoot into darkness. I think that you pull away from a system and it'll collapse. You can't shoot what you can't see. You always lose. If you are shooting in the dark, you will always lose. Every single one. Your children gonna lose too, your grandkids and your nieces, your nephew. You ain't never gonna have no freedom. When you can't see what to shoot, you take a sweeping move. There you go. I'll say it another way. It's like karate, some sort of martial arts. You know, if you can't take out the person's upper body strength, you know you can take them out with a sweeping move, right? You sweep their legs. You take out the legs from underneath them. And what holds this system up? Capital. What holds the system up? Your belief in. What holds the system up? Obviously, forced vaccinations or whatever they want to do. You take your power from them and the system collapses. Every system is fantasy. Every system is based in belief. You take your belief out of it, you take your money out of it, you sweep the legs, and it doesn't matter if it was Clinton. Doesn't matter if it was the Clinton Foundation, the Gates Foundation, the coming Trump Foundation. It doesn't matter what it was. The whole thing's going to collapse. Doesn't matter if it's the Rothschilds or Rockefellers. Consciousness is our way up. Supposedly that is the skull of Geronimo, according to several researchers. Jonathan, I wouldn't doubt it one bit. But it's a representation of me. It's a representation of Christine, a representation of Tricia, a representation of Occupy New Paradigm. Oh Lord. Pickled okra is pretty damn good. I'm just saying, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Don't be lying on my feed. You can go lie somewhere else. No, it ain't. No, that's disgusting. Look over here lying. Pickled okra, you use that to poison people with it. Trisha, probably because Geronimo was the last to resist the American Empire. Just my guess. Yes, Susan, and that makes sense. And just to make sure we don't get lost in identity, and the American Empire came from the German Empire. That came from the Roman Empire. I'll get my math wrong, history wrong, but it all links up together. It's all the same powerful people. It's all the same negative energy. It's all the same demonic empowerment. It's all the same banks and what controls all that behind it. Right? And so if we know that all of the same negative, dark energy, satanic, whatever is behind the core of your nation, then you know it ain't your nation. All right, let me do this. When was it hopeless? Oh, is there something hopeless? What did I miss? Jonathan, he had some powers. That's why they couldn't kill him. He surrendered in the end. Okay. Okay, so you're saying it's hopeless because he surrendered? I don't know. I actually wasn't there. I believe in Kenny Rogers, a great prophet from back in the day. And he was a fantastic, phenomenal prophet who said, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to run, and know when to walk away. Did I say that right? Did I just do a George Bush? Gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the season's done. I think you have to fight like the art of war. There are times when you gotta fold, you gotta give it in, right? These people believe they don't want to burn the world, but they will burn the world. That's that 50 Cent mentality. What is that name of that song? Something or Die Trying. These people will burn the world up, die trying. Yeah, if we let them to continue battle over world domination and world control, they will burn the world up. They will kill everybody on this planet. They will burn the whole thing up because we are speeding climate change. I don't think it's an issue. I think it's interesting nobody's talking about climate change right now. Now you're looking at real issues in the world. Yeah, I think we probably speed it. But they don't care. They're not doing anything about the plastic in the oceans. They're not doing anything about the world being burned up. One side is lying and saying, we need to stop the oil companies while they're cheering fracking and it's back and forth. This is nonsense. But I think he knew when to fold. All right. I'm going to kind of look and see if there's anything new in the news or anything that helps us to understand where this is all going. That would be great. Or see what our lords and kings are lying about today. You know what amazes me though is how they can continue this show going. These people are fantastic actors. These people are amazing. They need to get Tonys and Emmys and all kind of awards keeping us distracted, but they're doing their job. I think they started to let us know how this worked during, was it Reagan? He was the first actor, or was it before then? When they started, hang on, let me move the Cactus 5G. When they started hiring actors, they need people who are good. That's why lawyers make great politicians. If you can get people who are great at convincing you that they're there to save you, like Q, then you can keep it going. Ooh, White House correspondent kicked out the briefing. I wonder why. I kind of want to look at that. Anytime the kings and lords kick somebody out there, maybe did they say something that was true? Why would they kick them out?
Tonight, the White House Correspondents Association has removed a reporter from a news outlet for what she did during a White House briefing.
Or was it
dramatic? She's been kicked out of the White House briefing room. Now, the association says that the correspondent violated the social distancing policy that was established there. RT correspondent Natasha Sweet has more on this decision.
Oh, theatrics.
Yes. Please in the back of the please.
Mr. President and team, going back to hydroxychloroquine, how many clinical trial tests numerically would you like to see before you put a stamp of approval on it? Because there are clinical trials being taking place around the world right now.
Sure, please.
Is there a number? How many cases would you like to see?
This was the last press briefing One America News' Chanel Rion attended on March 31st. As you can see, there are less seats available in the White House press briefing room to integrate proper social distancing. While Rion did not have an actual seat during this time, according to a media report, she had said she was attending as a guest of Stephanie Grisham, the White House press secretary. So the White House Correspondents Association decided to remove OAN's seat altogether for what they called not abiding by their social distancing policy. In the letter sent out to correspondents, it says, quote, "Under this policy, we have asked reporters who don't have a seat not to attend press briefings." It goes on to say, "We are writing to inform you that the White House Correspondents Association Board has voted this evening to remove a news outlet from the rotation for a seat in the briefing room. We did this because a reporter for this outlet twice attended press briefings in contravention of this policy. We do not take this action lightly. This is a matter of public safety." In the past, Rion's colleagues.
It's not a matter of public safety. I don't believe in it. Yeah, you need to do some social distancing to help other people who have weakened immune systems and elderly, as you need to do that every single flu season. You need to cover your mouth. If you're sick, you need to stay home. Do what you always done. Do what your elders taught you. You can ignore what your lying kings and lords always say. But they're right on that in terms of spacing, but they threw her out just for it fulfills the narrative. But you know what? It might even be because they believe it. It might even be. You know how like sometimes you tell a lie so much the lie becomes you? Your identity becomes a part of the lie. It might be that the politicians actually believe it.
From other outlets have criticized her questions at the briefings. Here you can see a photo of a letter from someone asking if she thought her question was helpful in halting the spread of the coronavirus. Here is Rion at a recent press briefing asking a question you surely wouldn't hear from CNN.
2 states have suspended elective abortion to make more resources available for coronavirus cases. That's Texas and Ohio. Do you agree with states who are placing coronavirus victims above elective abortions, and should more states be doing the same?
Here, Rion asks about the World Health Organization confirming if Iran is downplaying its cases of the coronavirus.
Iran is vastly underreporting its coronavirus cases, not just cases, but fatalities. According to on-the-ground estimates, it might be as high as 15,500 deaths. 32 commanders in the military in Iran are now confirmed either in dire condition or dead.
Rion has been criticized for her support of President Trump and for now is no longer being allowed at the White House press briefings. Reporting in Los Angeles, Natasha.
I don't know. I have no idea what that was about. So apparently she supports him and critiques him, and I have no idea. I don't even know where to start. Maybe y'all know. I think that the fact that she got thrown out is probably important. Why would Iran understate the death counts? I think if anything, they'd overstate them. I don't know. It's fun to speculate about why, but I don't know. Our government had the CEO from MyPillow gives us a lecture on social distancing and washing hands. We're in a bad, hilarious reality TV show. We are in the worst episode of Black Mirror I've ever seen. I've never been this bothered by what I see in government. It's crazy. It's insanity. I don't even know what that was about, but I'm glad that she's asking tough questions, interesting questions. I don't think they're the right questions. But I could just be more theatrics. I don't know. I didn't see anyone wearing a mask. I didn't see anyone wearing a mask. Yeah, it's about narrative control. Oh, right. You mean in the video? I didn't see that. No one had masks on?
Meanwhile, tonight, the White House correspondent.
They weren't.
Secretary.
Let's go see a picture of the room.
We did this because.
Jonathan with the eagle eye. Look at that. Nobody has masks. I don't see any gloves. And look at that room. And that room, I guess, used to be full of people. They had just gone in there like they don't care. Yeah, but they're distanced. They're spaced apart, like they're kind of concerned. But there's a lot of equipment and frames and air and countertops and pillows and chairs. There's a whole lot of places for the cuckoo virus to come get you. But they're all in there. In that room, that's more than 15 people, Jonathan. It's against the law. You can't get together more than 15 people in some states and counties, and that's more than 15 people in that room. But yeah, I don't believe anything. It's a horrible TV show. My Pillow guy touched Trump. No SWAT team was called. Ooh, My Pillow guy? I don't even know I don't even know what y'all talk. To be honest with you, I don't even know what y'all. I don't think it was this report. I don't even know what My Pillow is. I don't even watch the news, and I don't do any shopping. So I guess that's a product that you can buy. I do my best to keep like things I don't want my mental Rolodex out of there. Trump launches crazed missive on White House letterhead. What is a missive? Trump launches crazed missive on White House letterhead. I don't know what a missive is. What is a missive? I don't even know what that is.
Ruben Navarrete is joining us now to try and figure out the muddled media situation that we deal with. I was going to talk about that situation at the White House, not the one with the reporter who seems to be told that, I guess she's having a problem with other reporters, whatever. But something else that just came over. There's this letter that was just sent by the President of the United States to Chuck Schumer, and it's addressed on a White House letterhead, and it's just really nasty. It says, Schumer, if you spent less time on your ridiculous impeachment hoax, which went haplessly on forever and ended up going nowhere except increasing my poll numbers, and instead focused on helping the people of New York City, we would not be so completely unprepared for this invisible enemy. No wonder AOC and others are thinking about running against you. They would likely win. And then he says, I've known you for many years, but I never knew how bad a senator you were for your state of New York until I became president. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
This missive was just fired off by the White House. Yeah. I feel like I should take a shower. This is nasty.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say, Ruben.
I know what to say. I'm living with 3 teenagers at the moment. The president's a teenager. They're exhibiting the same sort of behavioral tactics. This is a really serious time. If you look at what we just heard on your network, the report from New York about how this might continue on through the summer, every single time we turn around, it gives us pause. Our heart stops at the extent of this crisis, the terrible human cost involved. This letter is inappropriate. It's crazy, and it shows that the president is very petty, very defensive, very childish at the wrong moments. He's his own worst enemy. Yeah. And it's no wonder. It's no Rick. It's no wonder that when people are polled, they say that Republican and Democratic governors are more trusted on this issue than the president is.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not trying to carry water for the president here, but apparently Schumer went on Morning Joe this morning and blasted the president, and you know the president watches television, he sees that, and it set him off. Let's move on. Yeah. Let's move on to something else, and that is this penchant for reporters at the White House to go on this inclination to want to goat the president into hating Iran and attacking Iran and hating China and hating Venezuela and hating Russia. What I mean, what's with that?
Yes, the White House and the press corps and the media in general have performed very badly in this crisis. They've shown their true colors. They ask questions to bait the president, to trap the president, to make the president look bad. Now, as evidenced by the first segment, sometimes the president doesn't need any help to look bad. Yeah. He can take care of that on his own. But the media also has these childish tendencies to make the story about them and themselves. And they do lead they ask these very provocative questions that are needlessly, pointed at the president. And they're not getting at the truth. They're just trying to get under his skin.
Yeah. No, I think you're right, especially when it comes to that particular issue. They're not acting like the reporters that we used to admire and the guys that we grew up with, and the gals. Ruben Navarrete, you're a good man, good reporter, good journalist. I'm glad we have you on. That's our news.
Of course they are. They have to get under his skin. They've already built up the narrative that Trump is wrong with everything. The other people are okay. The Democrats and Republicans, the ones who did all of this, poisoned the land, the food, the air, the sea, the water, sped climate change, and killed 5 million people since 9/11. But Trump is the problem. So they've already convinced everybody that's important. So yeah, they got to do things to keep the show going, right? You got to keep the entertainment rolling. Are you not entertained? Let's not focus on the fact that people are dying in their houses and they can't get out, get their cars fixed, get food, water, or anything like that. Can't take their kids out for a run. Let's focus on fulfilling the narrative. People hate Trump or they love Trump. Let's keep it going. Let's keep just stirring the Kool-Aid. And yeah, Lord, it's always it's 1%ers. The 1%ers, they rule everything because we are this stupid. We're this stupid. You know, the emperor has no clothes. There's always a man behind the curtain. There's always rumors of war. Maybe we should say rumors of politics. Because the politics are always the fantasy show to keep people to focus on everything that completely doesn't matter. Everything that's not going to change anything for the people who actually have the real power. Rick Sanchez, how Medicare is saving lives amid COVID-19. I believe it is. I believe it is. Like I said, I'm not a universal healthcare guy. I'm a person that, hey, when people need help, you help them. Like Lori and the nurses and the people that are here. People need help, you help them. You don't ask them who their insurance company is. You don't ask them dumb stuff. Like, you don't ask them if they, you just help them. That's what Christ did. That's what Yeshua Christ did. Everybody who's a conservative who believes that they're supposed to be Christ-like, then you need to just help people who need help. To me, that's common sense. We did that before Yeshua Christ. We did that when we were tribes and running out in the jungle. Somebody need to help, you help them. So of course Medicare is. But of course there's a bill attached to it. Crony organization, crony industry. When you make people pay to stay alive, then the slaves work harder. All right, reporters go Trump and okay, oh my God, is all of this politics? I thought y'all were done with this. Reporters go Trump to go after China and Iran. Oh, okay, because I guess everybody's home and they're all watching the news, and so they need a lot of that nonsense going. Okay, that's probably what it is. People want to see that. COVID-19 vaccine sped up by NBA players. That's not a good thing, y'all. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to speed up the vaccine. It's a good thing for you to say, you know what? I've been living stupid. I've been drinking Coca-Cola and drinking too much beer and smoking cigarettes and mistreating myself and not getting out running. I'm gonna get healthy again. So the next time this comes through, I'm not gonna sit back and wait on a triage-based medical system that tries to solve problems on the back end, right? This is not about being an anti-vaxxer or pro-vaxxer. It's not about the vaccine religion. This is about common damn sense. Stop waiting on your kings and lords to solve problems that you caused. You consented and you caused it. You put the ho-ho in your mouth. You put the Twinkie down. You shoved the donuts in. Government didn't do that. So the idea that we need them to hurry up and speed up to fix things that we caused in our own body, that damage, that's the dumbest thing we could teach our children. So I'm not interested in that. I don't care nothing about no vaccine. I'm not taking it anyway. I don't want short-term immunity. I don't want to outsource my body to synthetically to people that I don't even trust or know. How stupid have we become? Don't you want lifelong immunity? Don't you want a world that's protected by people with working immune systems? Why in the world would you want to continue to outsource your power, your strength, your health, your vitality, and everything to a government that's never been on your side? Boggles my mind. Boggles my mind. All right, anyway, I have no idea why y'all are sitting back on a slave plantation, locked in your shack, waiting for your masters to give you something to make you feel better. It's insanity to me. Anyway, I can't click on that. That one was going to get me upset. Get ready for stagflation. Is that like the opposite of, this might be economic stuff, inflammation or inflation. Stagflation.
Welcome back. I'm Rick Sanchez. Let's talk about the proverbial elephant in the room, shall we? The coronavirus pandemic is bringing the economies both on Wall Street and Main Street to its knees. maybe the best way to phrase it is that it's on a ventilator. And the ventilator is the Fed. That's just printing money like there is no tomorrow. Don't have a job? We'll send you a check. Can't pay your mortgage? Send you money. Business going bankrupt, whether it's related to this or not, don't worry. We're not going to let that happen. A, should the government be doing what it's doing? B, what happens when and if the gravy train finally leaves the station? What are we going to be left with economically? There's one guy who's making a big name for himself, providing both micro and macro econ lessons almost every single night on YouTube. In fact, I'll just full disclosure here. When I go home at night after doing 22 newscasts in a row, I slump on the couch, sometimes with an adult beverage, and I watch his segments to learn a thing or two, and maybe you could too. I want to introduce you to him. His name is George Gammon, and he's good enough to join us now to kind of help us understand this. So, George, if you would just take it away. What is your take on this situation we find ourselves in?
Well, I think the economy is going to struggle on a moving forward basis. What we've done is we've inflated what we all call the everything bubble. And that's a direct result of the Fed and their intervention going back to the late 80s. It doesn't start with Powell, that's for sure. But if you go look at the dot-com bust, they tried to fix that or paper over it by inflating another bubble. That was a housing bubble. Then in 2008, 2009, they had to create another asset bubble. And that was where we are today. It's I always say in my videos that the U.S. economy is built on three things: asset bubbles, debt, and confidence. And I think the Fed knows that very well. So in your intro, you're saying how they're just printing money, trying to paper over everything.
Asset bubbles, debt, something else. No, that's not what the U.S. economy is based on. It's based on lies, colonization, and murder. It's not based on those things. Those are big words. I don't even know what he's talking about. It's based on killing people, stealing what they got, and selling it to stupid people who want to invest in it with a 401k so they can retire well on the death of everybody else. That's what it's based on. It's based on a whole lot of stuff. It's not based on any of those things that Christ told you wasn't supposed to have anyway, because he started to overturn the tables in the churches to have that. So, yeah. But I think that is the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that on the other side of this, we're in big trouble. Like, even if they turn stuff on April 30th, it doesn't really matter. We're already done. Our economy's gone. So that is the elephant in the room. Not what Donald Trump is doing, not who's going to be elected, not if y'all can get Creepy Joe as the president. None of that's important. The only that's important is people and food on the other side of this nonsense. So I agree this is important because they can turn the economy back on. You got 20% unemployment. That's chaos. That's still martial law. You still are on a military police state. And you ever try to grow an economy under a military police state? Does anybody know how to do that? Is that on any of their is that on a resume? How they drop your kids off at daycare and people running the street with bombs blowing up and zombies running around. You trying to sell some flowers and start a company? Yeah, we're in big trouble. But I like it. I like it in terms of the fact that the only way we get out of this is rediscovering our humanity. The only way we get out of it is rediscovering conscience. The only way we get out of it is looking out for each other. That's how it should have been from the very beginning. That's probably how it was in the very beginning, until somebody invented a bank. They're probably going to force internet voting. Kimberly, I can see that, and I'm already against it. I'm against you cussed me. That's why. Because you already used the V word. I'm already against it. I don't care if it's internet, digital, ballot, whatever. I don't believe that anybody should be voting for our next master. It's obvious that all the masters were corrupt because we're here. It's obvious they were all dirty. It's obvious that they all thought they were masters. We need a shift in society. We need a whole new system that respects humans, respects women, respects people of every race, color, size, gender, trailer park, ghetto, burial, no matter what nation. We need a human-based system. We need a resource-based economy. We need a government that gives two damn about its people. We need that people who are actually governing. And the only governing that's happening is on the local level. A level that's so low, it's pointless to be super dirty at a low level. We need a whole new system. But of course, I think that's why they got the theatrics going. And that's why it seems like they're talking about politics again, because you can get people revved up and revved up like, oh, this was Trump's fault. Oh, no, the Biden is going to save us. Like, wait a minute. So Trump, who's in bed with the pesticide enemy, the pesticide industry, the GMO industries, the banks, the Zionists, he's going to save us, the one that's supposed to be going to get the pedophiles. And the other side is Biden, the guy that can't stop touching little children. He was in the law industry, wrote the Violence Against Women's Act to make more violence and spousal murder go up against women. He's going to save us. And I'm just like, y'all, maybe we don't need saving no more. Maybe we're done with that. Maybe we should be done with saviors. Maybe we should be done with the cues and just go back to just being adults. Maybe we should let go of the fantasy. So yeah, they probably will do an internet vote, and I'm not going to watch. I'm going to do the same thing I did the last election. If they do that, who said that? Kimberly? I ain't even going to watch, because I don't really care. I don't care what color your master is. I don't care if you give me a woman master. I don't care if you give me a white master, a black master, a Democrat master, a Republican master. It doesn't really matter. You're still imposing shackles on me to be ruled. And that pisses me off. I'm gonna change the topic, because now I'm gonna get pissed. I want to get pissed off. I like laughing. I'm not interested in you saying we need to get a new boss. We made a system that doesn't work, and people's is dying. There's old people's in their houses and children under bombs. But it's okay, because I needs to retire on the black market called Wall Street. We needs to get the bubble and get the tire pump and start filling that bubble up. I don't think we need another Negro spiritual. I think we need to end slavery. I'm done. I know, right, Hillary? All this from a guy wearing a white beater. Oh, Lord have mercy. Hey, well, listen, if nothing else, people, it is entertaining. If nothing else, the end of the world plantation, we all gonna die or go right back on the plantation. But these people want to walk us right back on. These Democrats and Republicans who just destroyed the whole world and gave us a plantation slavery system. It's either gonna be the end of the world or we're all gonna go right back to slavery. But it's gonna take y'all a while to get your slavery back. So that's what I'll be happy about that. We might learn our lesson if y'all actually put this raggedy colonization, hegemony, war-based, enslaving children, injecting things in their arms, 127 of them by the time they're 40. If we actually keep this psychopath system, I'm glad it's gonna take y'all a long time to get your cotton profits back up. A long time. It's gonna take you a long time. And I think during that time, when years of trying to get your slavery and hegemony and war engine back up and running, people might actually figure out that you're criminals. They might actually figure out what the CIA whistleblower said is true. That all those organizations at the top, they're all connected, and it's all criminal activity. Maybe you'll find a soul and some warm blood between now and then. So maybe in martial law might help us. It might do some good. It might actually help us get back on track. Fragile-minded. Well, yeah, Miss Tree, and they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be the epitome of the truly insecure, or the 1%. They're scared to death, Miss Tree, but they got a whole lot of slaves that are scared to death. Fear is what it's all based on. Fear is the basis of every religion, especially the vaccine. It's the basis of all religion, all the science religions and the religions. It's the basis, because they're scared of something. And that's how you get people to crusade and force their religion in a vial to shoot it in your arm, or force a religion from a book to make you live how they want you to live. It's fear. They're scared. You know, if herd immunity was a thing, then I don't actually need a shot. You just need the shot. And you're protected. And your kids are protected. That was the biggest fantasy flaw that was obvious. They know this stuff doesn't work. They just want to give it to everybody. They need to force it on everybody. But they know it doesn't work. And if only half the population gets it and the other half that doesn't get it remains stronger and they get lifetime immunity, but the people foolish enough to go get a forced vaccine to heal the cuckoo flyer virus, They got to go back and get boosters every 5 or 6 years, and it doesn't work, and sometimes it works, and it's half working, and they're getting blue bumps, and they're having other immune problems. They got to get another shot for something else. The same way all the other pharmaceutical drugs work, where people end up on 72 medications before they die. It's going to go the same way. But they can't have people standing next to you that are healthy. And that's why them studies that Del Bigtree puts out, where the kids who don't get vaccinations are stronger and healthier, have stronger, healthier immune systems, less illnesses and problems than the kids who do. They're scared to death of that man. They are scared to death of Del Bigtree because he's telling you things that are true. We are here, unlike that Twitter post, because we had forced vaccination. We are here because we've always had that. We are here because we've been poisoned and our immune systems don't work. That's why we're here. That's the only reason why we're here, because we're stupid. And people are begging for more stupidity. But, like I was saying, who said that? They're supposed to be fearful, and they're supposed to run the master, because that's what slaves do. When you're scared, you hear the thunder, what does your dog do? Your dog runs and it curls up by your feet because it's your dog. And so, yeah, some sort of cuckoo flu or bad season or whatever, a flu season comes by, then yeah, the slave's supposed to run the master. Where's our vaccine? Help us! Help us! You put us here, but help us, massa. And I'm not into slavery. I think it's a bad idea, and I think it's going to happen again. You don't focus on prevention, and you keep a triage-based medical system that's focused on saving you after bad things happen to you. You get a vested interest in that pharmaceutical industry to make bad things happen to you because they make money off of bad things happening to you. I can't be the only one that sees that. It's called a sustainable business model. You get people stupid enough to keep a medical system that only works when bad things happen to you. And then they get paid by another industry to make those bad things happen to you. And it's called GMO and pesticides. It's called 5G and 4G. It's called, everything. The damn phone has a blue filter on it. I think it's probably killing my eyes right now. Because the eye company's got to sell some medication or that Velasic eye surgery or something. And it's just, we build a system in a big, unsustainable fantasy bubble we all going to die if we keep this thing. We got a chance to build something new. Why don't we just build something new, go a different way? Why don't we finally emancipate to proclamate the whole damn human race and be done with this nonsense? Now let me move on to the topic, otherwise I'm gonna get to yelling. I don't like slavery. I don't like black slavery, white slavery, Irish slavery, Chinese slavery, American slavery, Palestinian slavery, Congo slavery. I don't like no slavery. I don't like bank slavery, debt slavery, money slavery, corporate America slavery. I don't like it at all. I don't like slavery, Green Sam that I am, or whatever he said. I don't like green eggs and ham. I don't like green eggs and ham with Spam. I don't like okra anyway. Okra anyway. Hey, the news with Rick Sanchez. Let's keep moving. Mayor describes his biggest COVID fear. I really don't care what the mayor is scared of. He's a mayor. I don't care what he's scared of. He reads the Washington Post probably. And plus, adults with fear shouldn't have any power anyway. They do bad things when they're scared. New York bans heart attack patients from the ER. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. You know what? You might get some emotions out of me I'm so sick of y'all. I'm so sick of this cuckoo flu. I'm so sick of this.
Back to the news with Rick Sanchez. As we mentioned at the top of the hour, there is a palpable friction between state governments and the federal government developing, and today that really came to light in New York. New York seems to be struggling with its ability to keep up with its very dense population, probably the densest in the country, having enough medical supplies to try and meet the demand, for example. RT correspondent Trinity Chavez has really been doing great work for us. She's been filing stories daily out of New York for the very latest now from what some are calling the ground zero of the United States. Here's Trinity Chavez.
Today, officials tightening restrictions in New York as the city remains on lockdown.
Right now, as you can see, New York City is usually pretty busy right now, but it's empty.
Governor Andrew Cuomo ordering all playgrounds in New York City to close down, saying that many people still are not complying with social distancing.
We agreed initially with the mayor that we would try compliance, and the mayor was going to try to use the NYPD to enforce compliance, social distancing in playgrounds. It is still a problem. We're going to close down the city playgrounds, and leave the open spaces available.
This as the number of new coronavirus cases continue to batter New York City, with more than 270 deaths and nearly 4,000 cases reported in 24 hours. Doctors on the front lines of the pandemic warning that hospitals are increasingly overwhelmed.
Unfortunately, I just think that this is a situation that's going to be going all around, all over. Every hospital will unfortunately begin to see this happen.
Elmhurst Hospital in Queens, the borough with the most coronavirus cases in the city, possibly hit the hardest. The 545-bed facility full with COVID-19 patients.
Oh, it's terrifying here because we're downwind of this of a hospital that's the epicenter of the national crisis. So yeah, I'm terrified to go outside.
Officials now issuing new guidance for EMS workers in the city and Long Island, saying that patients in cardiac arrest would not be transported to hospitals if they cannot be saved in the field.
At the hospital itself, they're overrun with patients. You know, EMS is, last night broke a record. We handled 6,500 calls.
And while the Navy hospital ship Comfort and the iconic Central Park try to relieve the burden already seeing patients, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio says that the city needs thousands of more hospital beds.
We need to build out an additional number of 65,000 hospital beds in the city of New York by the end of April. We all already have a tremendous start. The 20,000 beds.
My bad, I had the sound off. I have a problem with this. I forgot what I just said, but I have a problem with this. The problem I have with the fact that you've got them preparing for something, and nobody I know in New York is saying that. I don't know one person. You have a hashtag called Video Your Hospital, and so far I see on that, and I'll look at the post just before we get off of here, but I don't see anything significant that's coming out of that. So what are they preparing for? What time is 5G supposed to be rolling out? April 30th? I have an issue with this. I think that they're up to something. Something doesn't smell right. And that looked like that was at Presbyterian Hospital in that shot. That didn't look like that was a crisis center.
I say they were already there.
The governor warning the crisis could last for months and cause as many as 16,000 deaths.
People scared to go out on the street because they're downwind from the hospital. Like, you're building up so much fear, and Bill Gates is probably just sitting, got that evil laugh, just giggling. Because everyone's going to run for it. Well, these people are. They can't wait. They can't wait to get over there and get that value. They can't wait to go take that religion and shove it in their arm because they're scared to death. That's what you do when you get people sitting in house watching, just drumming up all that fear together.
If this model is correct, this could go through the summer.
Officials ramping.
Of course, go through the summer into the fall, because shutting down an economy and killing millions of people who no longer have a means for making an income works out real good if you are a Jeff Bezos. Works out real good if you're on Wall Street and you're actually getting the cash and the people are getting IRS tax credits. Works out real good for you when you break a nation down into the 1920s where all you have are a few billionaires that own all the big businesses, but the whole middle class is convinced that they need to be more scared of a cuckoo flu than not having a means of contributing to the GDP. Under a model of giving you $1,200 a month, you need to be scared. Not scared. Not scared and fearful. You need to be worried and concerned. You need to be able to recognize real and clear and present danger, and it's not coming from a flu. Is there something out there killing people? Yeah, sure there is. But people are dying of heart attacks more. They're dying of breast cancer more. They're having challenges from autism and ALS and cardiovascular disease. Those are the real plagues. And those people are being pushed to the side. Why? Because you're scared of the cuckoo flu. So you're going to the thing because you got a headache and a fever. And if it was last year, you would have took care of it.
up testing with more than 238,000 people tested, with the number of total confirmed cases in New York.
You know what? I can't watch that no more because I'm gonna be upset. I'm not even gonna watch it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done with the cuckoo. I'm done with it. Hey, listen, a fool and his GDP are soon parted. Just keep that in mind. That's scripture. We're gonna make that scripture. A fool and their capacity to make income and not be slaves will soon be parted. Keep playing with these Rothschilds and Rockefellers and this medical system, the CDC and World Health Organization and government. They ain't never done you right since the day you were born. It works for people that would put a skull of Geronimo in front of them and take pictures with it. And only Alex Jones told you. Oh, I can't watch it no more. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. I can't watch that no more. It would be nice if it was like one little happy piece of news and information. But everybody's falling into, well, not everybody, but the vast majority are falling to the fear tactics. And I don't see anything I think this is going to go the right way, but I think it's going to get darker before it gets lighter because people are feeding into the fear. Jesse Ventura blasts Georgia governor's ignorance. Do I want to watch that? I don't know. I appreciate Jesse. Jesse says very truthful things, but I'm a little concerned. I don't know if I want to see that one. No lockdown in Sweden. Oh, is Sweden sacrificing its elderly? That's a good question. That might actually sound like natural herd immunity. That might actually sound like building up strength in the population. That might actually sound like a population that understands that, yeah, after you go a long term of ignorance, creating weakened immune systems among the young population, if you let them get it and they can take it, they build up the antibodies. They white blood cell, you make them stronger. So next year when flu season comes around, the elderly will be protected. That you won't have all these debilitated immune systems walking around. When you don't have a 4G and 5G making it worse, and cocos and cuckoo cakes and Cinnabons and soda, ban all of that and ban the synthetic sugar, build up the natural immunity of the community to protect the elderly. And this year you just have a pollen alert. You have a cuckoo flu alert that goes off to let all the elderly stay indoors. If you got an immune system, you need to protect yourself, stay away from the other people. We went 100 years of ignorance under Rockefeller's triage-based medical system. We destroyed the immunity of the entire herd. 98% of the herd just sick. They're gonna get the cuckoo flu. They're creating all kind of cultivating bacteria and things that are gonna cause all kind of problems. So y'all need to stay indoors this flu season. We're going to let that pass around through the population, make them strong again. We're going to ban synthetic sugar. We're going to ban soda pop. We're going to ban candy. We're going to ban pesticides on crop. We're going to ban the 12 popular carcinogens they spray on all the crops. We're going to build up the health and the immunity of our people. And next year we won't have to worry. We done messed up. We went the wrong way for 100 years. Now we're going to go back the right way. That's what I'd love to hear. That's not what I'm hearing, but hopefully this is what Sweden is doing.
Now, we mentioned this
hopefully they're done playing the billionaires' games.
Earlier in the newscast. This is fascinating. Sweden, the country of Sweden, has taken a very laid-back approach when it comes to lockdowns and quarantines and social isolation. Very different from the rest of the world, and we're going to talk about that. But there's another country we want to talk about right now, Russia, where...
Although it's interesting, Sweden's doing this. Is Sweden also the country that kicked out the banks? That's a good question. I hadn't forgot. Was Sweden the one that put the bankers in jail?
President Putin took to the microphone this morning.
Also, isn't that like a place where like a lot of billionaires live? Don't they, their average income per person is a lot higher than it is here?
Morning and made another announcement about what his strategy or his government's strategy will be moving forward.
We need to understand that the threat remains. According to virus specialists, the peak of the pandemic has not yet passed in the world, including in our own country. Taking this into account, I have taken the decision to extend the non-working regime until the end of the month to April 30th.
So there you have it. President Putin essentially saying he's pushing everything to April 30th, which, by the way, and we should mention George Galloway joining us now, who you see there on the screen. That's pretty much in keeping with what everybody else is doing. We were originally thinking about maybe the end of March, then we pushed it to the middle of April, and now everybody's saying the end of April. So it's kind of in keeping with what's going on. Now, I don't think a big news story there. The real story is in Sweden, where they're essentially saying they're not going to lock down their citizens. What do you make of that, George?
Well, it is a tremendous gamble if it comes off. The government of Sweden, the politicians in Sweden will be remembered forever, and in a good way. If it doesn't come off, it will be the hanging of them. The people of Sweden will tear their government down if the laissez-faire approach which they have taken, in contradistinction to every other government in the world, if that doesn't come off, that gamble doesn't come off, then it won't just be the Swedish people that are the big losers, but their political leaders. They haven't closed bars, they haven't closed restaurants. You can gather in groups of 50. It was, until a day or two ago, groups of 500 was the cap. You can go about more or less your normal life. That's the policy in Sweden, a famously liberal place, but one with many tensions in these days of big immigration, big refugee flows, and so on. So there are a lot of stress points, a lot of fractures in Swedish society. The government have taken a very, very big risk, Rick.
Yeah, I guess what they're saying is, look, as horrible as this sounds, there are older people who are going to die anyway. This might hasten their death. We think the risk of stopping everything might be greater. So we think our healthcare system can handle with the sudden rush of so many people getting sick all at once. Man, that's a hell of a gamble, George.
It is, and it's fine unless the old person in question is your mother or my mother. It's a eugenicist approach. It's the approach championed by the Reverend Thomas Malthus in the 19th century, who argued that, well, these things are necessary. Famines, epidemics, to cut down the parts of the population that are not strong enough to withstand them. It's not something that survived Nazi-era eugenics. It fell out of favor. It became a shameful thing. But I'm afraid among some politicians, it is the secret thinking in some places, not so secret. Boris Johnson came up with the idea of herd immunity. Even Donald Trump described that as crazy.
Yeah, George Galloway, as usual, a wise man, smart man who's able to have these conversations and even bring back the Malthusian theories from that were long gone. Thank you, George, as usual. Appreciate your time.
And that sounds logical to me. It sounds logical to me. I don't watch the news. I don't fall into the fear. I don't believe that flus become pandemics without government help. The Spanish flu, the black flu, black plague worked that way. It didn't become bad until the government had a war that they needed to fight and hide information during the war to make sure it spread through the other population stronger. So I agree with that approach. I don't have the fear. I don't have that fear. You know, I don't know anything about the statistics. I see y'all posting on statistics. According to the doctors, we don't even know who's dying. We have no idea. To me, I don't see anything worse than a flu season that I see every single flu season. Other than you got a whole bunch of scared people in their houses giving up their earning potential where millions more people will die, losing their lives or their livelihoods. That's all I see. So yeah, I'm not interested in any of this at all. I think Sweden is trolling the world. I think they're trolling the bankers, and we're going to see how this plays out. I think in the long story, we might be sending our kids to marry people in Sweden because they got stronger immune systems. We might want some of what they have. You know, once again, you put out a warning and you let people decide. You You're not as like, it's weird that we're even in a discussion of whether or not another adult has the right to tell you to stay locked up in your house like a child. If you want to go outside and commit euthanasia, do that. You want to go jump in a lake off a cliff, that's your business. Ain't got nothing to do with me. If you think that the cuckoo flu's getting people outside, then don't go outside, stay inside. You know, but the idea that we're giving a master the ability to tell us where we can go, when we can, to me, it's I can't do that. At the principle of, I would rather all of us die in a worldwide pandemic and completely extinct and free to earth from our ignorance than to hand any more power to a plantation owner. Rothschilds, Rockefeller, central banks, whatever it is. If we got to be slaves, nah, take my life. Take me now. I have no interest. I'm gonna live free or I'm not gonna be here at all. If I want to stay in my house, I stay in my house. If I want to go out, I go out. But this idea of giving kings and lords the power to tell you that you have to stay in your house like a child, that's a mistake. Whether it's a good idea or not, the idea doesn't matter. It's the principle of the matter. If somebody wants to commit euthanasia, then they can go do that. I believe in euthanasia. Iceland was the bankers, thank you. It was Iceland, not Sweden. But Sweden has got this one on lock. Between Sweden and Iceland, they're figuring the world out. They're figuring out, to me, they're figuring out common sense. I think we're lost in cuckoo land. We are lost in slave mentality. They just closed 2 emergency rooms down in the county next door. Everyone is funneled to another one further away. Why is that, Ivana? What's going on there? I'm not religious, but I damn sure claim it when it comes to vaccines. You claim medical and they want to debate. I don't have any time for that anymore. No, neither do I, Tricia, because it's a religion. It's all crusades. It's all crusades, whether it's for a God or a Bill Gates God. It's all faith-based and all science-based. Well, no, it's a little science-based and the rest of it's faith-based. And you can't put your religion in anybody else's body. You can't make anybody pray to your God. To me, that's insanity. If people want to take their lives, they should take it. I just don't believe in people deploying their faith, Tricia, on other people. If it's true, you don't have to advertise it. If it's real, if your God is doing what you say your God can do when you pray, then people gonna do it. Why? Because your God's coming through. If your God is healing people through vaccines and flu shots and Tylenol and Advil, you don't need commercials. All you need is people to say, you know what, I took this, it did that, no problems. But if you got to have commercials every damn second trying to convince people, if you got to have Bill Gates on television, every other show trying to convince people, trying to advertise to them, then it's obvious it doesn't work. Things that don't work don't need advertisement. They don't need constant convincing and programming people through television programming. They just work. That's where my mind is at. Sarah Palin got where she is due for handling her own cash in exchange for allowing drill baby drill. Peeps are more easily bought. Peeps are more easily bought. If peeps are more easily bought, I don't know anything about Sarah Palin. Drill baby drill, Miss Tree. People who follow politics might be on top of that. I barely know who she is. She's not my queen. She's not my princess. She's not my queen, and I don't really care what Sarah Palin thinks. But I'm sure people who follow her understand what you're saying. The hospitals are all doing analysis like this, and it drives a lot of behavior you are seeing, I imagine. Well, yeah, you know what? Like I said, people are dying. I'm not one to say that it's fake. I'm just saying that we don't know the real story. The real story is not profitable. The fake story is always where that profit comes from. So I don't believe any of the statistics, and I'll never agree to the shackles. I made it all up, but it sounded good, didn't it? I am part Swedish. Hunter, you're part Swedish, but you're in America, so your immune system isn't going to get the immunity. Oh, okay, I'm 12% Swedish, and we got some good immune systems. That's also why I'm tall and skinny. Oh, you made all, so you're short, you're not tall and skinny, but you are 12% Swedish. Well, you're going to lose out because your people, they're going to get all that good strong immunity, lifelong immunity handed down through epigenetics, gonna be real strong. But you here with us Americans, you're not gonna get none of that unless you go back over there and find you somebody. Over here, we're going the synthetic path. We're going the Bill Gates and pharmaceutical industry becoming our God path. We don't want to be biological humans with natural immunity that lasts lifelong, that we hand down to children. We want to be children and have temporary immunity that might kind of sort of work-ish. That we got to get booster shots to keep it going, and don't hand immunity to the children. Isn't that the movie? What's the name of that movie? Life of Men, or Tales of Men, or something of Men, where nobody could have babies in the future because we all went that synthetic route and their bodies didn't work anymore. We want to do that. Hunter, you're gonna have to go home. All right. We already work from home, and we are both still working. Everybody should work from home, Anna. Everybody should work. That might be a good thing that comes out of this. It's showing people that they actually don't have to go to the plantation. They can work from home. Western-centric philosophy that F the majority. Absolutely, Miss Tree, because Western-centric philosophy right now is all based in profit. Act of 1871, we're a for-profit corporation. We will do everything that makes profit. And breaking the immune system and making everybody dependent on government for food, water, infrastructure, medicine, synthetic vaccines, because we've broken everybody down and made them weak and gotten rid of 1,000,000 years worth of evolved DNA and genetics and gene expression to make them very strong and healthy. We need to get rid of that because that's getting in the way of profits. It's getting in the way of profits. But in the long run, everybody's going to be Swedish. I'm not sure what language they speak in Sweden, but the people in the future, you come back in 1,000 years, the whole planet going to be Swedish. Ain't going to be American left. Ain't going to be a Western, anybody left, because we bit into the philosophy of fools and threw out the learned wisdom of our ancestors. And biology and nature for somebody else's faith. All right, anyway. But what happened was they threatened Alex Jones. Oh, is that what happened, Patricia? That's why he said he's an actor. I think he's actually an actor. I think he's an entertainer. My theory on Alex Jones, like I said, I used to watch him. He was just a shock jock, and people started following him, so he had to start being truthful, and so he got stuck between being news and a shock jock. And he just went along with whatever narrative that gave him a bigger audience. That's what I think. I think he is a half actor. Jones also backpedaled on Pizzagate after he was threatened. Well, yeah, but we'll never really know what's true on that, Patricia Hauser, because we don't have an open source society, you know. And Alex, like anybody else, wants to eat. He's got a belly. He got a big one too. He ain't playing. That brother eats. So he'll do whatever gets him a bigger audience. I think he's just stuck between being shock jock and news. But he revealed a lot of things. There are a lot of things we wouldn't know if it weren't for Alex Jones. There are probably some things we wouldn't know if it weren't for Q. Some things we wouldn't know if it probably weren't for Obama. Some things we wouldn't know if it probably weren't for Trump. Some things we wouldn't know. I'm not interested in the identity and the fantasies. I don't believe in trusting any of the lords and kings and our masters or the secret society people. I think if you gotta have secrets, then you're not on my side. If you're willing to let me know everything, then you're treating me as an adult that doesn't want to lock me in my room because I listened to you and killed off my immune systems. All right. Any last comments so I can go? I got to do some real work now. For now, the story changes every time. Yeah, Lori, they're going to keep the story changing to keep people just, as long as people are in tune with whatever the current fear is, then they're making money. And just before this, it was the whole measles thing. And that was starting to fluff out. People weren't believing that, so they had to make up something new. So it was flu season. And did what they had to do with that, or 5G season, whatever you say it is. I'm fine with all the conspiracy theories. I just, once again, I always go back down to the root-based principle. You cannot have a slave plantation that keeps secrets from its people. Otherwise, they're going to become fools and fight each other over the fantasy lords and saviors, the Qs, Hillary Clintons, and Bernie Sanders. I just don't believe in slavery. All right, euthanasia. Yep, both fine. I believe in euthanasia. I believe that you can decide your own fate. You're a master of your own fate, and I have no input to that, neither does government. I think people who live in pain, they need to have somebody who can help them take them out of that pain if that's what they want. I believe everybody's a god. I believe everybody's a goddess, and you control that, not the sick psychopathic families that run the land that you happen to be born in. I believe in that. Freedom. Let people live how they need to. Alex Jones did expose Bohemian Grove. That's it. I said Skull and Bones. Well, that's where Skull and Bones was, right? Occupy. I'll give him that. And he did set a lot of people on a true path. He did his part. I'm not an anti-Alex Jones, and I'm not a pro-Alex Jones. I'm not a nothing on that. He played his part. He created a lot of conspiracy theorists on a planet where everything's a conspiracy. Everything's conspiring against you, from the smallest single cellular bacteria to your government, to the lords above them. Everybody's conspiring, to the man down the street trying to sell you some dirty hot dogs at the hot dog stand. Everybody's conspiring, trying to make money, trying to make energy, and he created more conspiracy theories. We need more detective minds on this planet and less slave minds, because everything is a conspiracy. Birth is a conspiracy. Biggest liars and perps on the planet. Yes, we are mistreating the Western government. Unfortunately, you can't get people to say that, because they're getting a good slice of the pie. They're getting their IRS credit, tax credits, and because they're getting that, they want to keep the system alive. The first step in estimating new unknown is the model. It's to model the bad idea, to start identifying where and how to improve on it. The estimate is more a measure of how bad the data is. Well, I agree, and for the most part, in terms of a system is only as good as its data inputs. And our only data input is the mainstream media. Our only data input is statistics that are coming in from doctors who are saying they're lying about the cause of death. When you have a system that makes it profitable to lie when crime pays and lying about the first cause of death pays, then we can't trust none of it. And the media is lying. And so when the whole system is based on lies, the whole system is just going to collapse. You can't trust nothing in it. This is real work, Gerard. Thank you for doing it and everybody participating. Okay, this is work. Okay, Lori, my butt's spreading now. This is work. I don't know. Okay, you say so. I think Ty's in Facebook jail for good. Oh Lord. I tried to warn him. What happened? Ain't even loaded any posts on Fierce George page either. I warned Ty. I try to tell Ty, when you get big, you got to be careful. You got to become an Alex Jones when you get big. You got to sell out somewhere. You can't just go up there and tell the truth how you feel it. You know, you got to be careful getting big on Facebook. Right now, that's not the place to be. You got a lot people on Facebook, they're not ready to know the truth. They don't want to know the truth. Their world is based on corruption. Their world is based on evil and dark energy. And you do not want 200 people on your live stream who don't get it. It's better. How many we got right here now? 25 on YouTube, might be 10 or so over on wherever. I don't. Is that 19 on VK or 3? I have no idea. I can't read the numbers. But you want. It's better to be surrounded around 40 people who actually give a damn. 40 people who know that their world is a lie and they want to make changes to the world than 200 people, and 90-some% of those people will turn on you when you say the wrong thing. They'll turn on you if you say anything that is truthful that they don't want to hear. You know, slow growth is good, but Ty blew up real quickly, so that doesn't surprise me. And remember, Facebook, they'll block you for life. They'll ban you for life. That's why I'm hesitant right now. I don't think Facebook is the place. I think I'll play around with posts, but right now you got way too many trolls out there acting like Switzerland. Is that Switzerland or Sweden? You got to be careful. Everything's a conspiracy theory. Everybody's conspiring. You got to be very careful right now. And every day it gets worse. Every day the Americans are locked in their house. People around the world are locked in their house, are getting more desperate to act like the billionaires at the top, trying to create some sort of scheme to get at you. Ty is a bit of an inflamer. Lori, stop lying on Ty. Ty ain't no bitter. Ty is the inflamer. Ain't no bits in. Ty, as I was saying yesterday, it was such a good live stream. They were arguing, going back and forth, cussing each other out. No, I was trying to. That's what Ty's supposed to do. Ty is Furious George. Ty is furious. Ty is supposed to be furious. That's his name. Furious George. He ain't supposed to be Ty Jenkins. He ain't supposed to be Ty Neftali. Ty Neftali is a person. Furious George supposed to be furious. Supposed to be furious with you. Tony Smith. Oh, Tony Smith supposed to cuss you, your mama, your kid. They're supposed to cuss everybody out. That's how them brothers get down. That's what they're supposed to do. I always like when people are people. When they're themselves, both supposed to make you look stupid with pictures and, and white beaters and okra in your mouth and I don't know, something in your booty. That's just what Bofon does. I appreciate people to be who they are. People are great people when you let them just be people. And Lori's a great nurse. Let Nora be a nurse. Hunter is a comedian. Let Hunter be a comedian. Let it go. Patricia Hauser, she liked pictures of Michelle Obama with bulges where it's supposed to be a penis. Just let people be people. That's just how we get down. I appreciate everybody's truth as long as it's a passionate truth. I don't like fake people. I'd rather argue till I'm blue in the face with somebody who believes what we're arguing about than somebody lying because they're getting paid for it. Fake people I can't stand. And right now, Facebook is just too full of fake people, way too full, who watch the news, believe the media. They're scared of a cuckoo flu coming to get them. It's flu season. Anyway, this Gerard, gotta go. Listen, love y'all to death. Brother Don came in at the last minute. I tuned in late. So this may be redundant, but I assume someone already identified George Herbert Walker Bush in the Skull and Bones photo. Oh, wait, whoa. Just to the left of the grandfather clock, back row, just to the left of the grandfather. Wow, that is him. I think we do a video on that. This is why I appreciate Don and other people. I forget stuff all the time. I'm too old for this. And so I'm gonna go. But that looked like George Herbert Walker Bush. And looked like he did probably 20 years before he got caught in that JFK photo. And we should follow the clues and the hints. And the funny thing is, they just gave that war criminal psychopathic billionaire a funeral as a king and a god. And people who will cheer psychopaths as their warriors of freedom, be careful with that. Good to see you, Brother Don. All right, let's all pray for Ty and what is going on to be without his theatric platform. Absolutely, Trisha. Ty can go to YouTube. Ty can go to Twitter. Ty can go other places, and this is why I try to encourage people to spread around. You can't get caught in one place. If you get caught in one place, they can kill you. They can control you. They can hurt you. Ty needs to take his following and kind of spread out before he loses his phone. So hopefully he's not locked in. Pray for everybody. Pray for the world. Pray for the human race. We're going to need it big time. And that's the other thing is they can give you a big following and they can take it away. And when you're an entertainer and it's like how you make your money and build up stuff like that, you don't ever want to put all of your coins in one basket. People need to spread out from Facebook. Like I said, go to VK, go to YouTube, go to Reddit, go to anywhere you can. I'm learning how to twit, man. I can twit. I'm learning how to twit. I don't know how to reply yet, and I'm working on the whole retweet with comments. Although it's tweet, right? Retweet. Tweet with comments. You got to spread around. Do not let them trap you in one place, because they get you in one place, they're going to get you. Don't ever take your joy. Remember we did that video a while ago? Take your joy and put your joy in places, billionaires, psychopaths, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Put your joy in places people can't get it. When people can't get to it, you will have lasting joy. You put your joy in a place and the things you need in a place that they can control you with, they're going to control you. All right. Gotta go. Love you, Gerard. Thanks for doing your live cast every morning. They make my life seem bright. Well, thank you, Hunter. I appreciate you jumping in. I gotta go. It's my little part that I play, and I gotta get going. So now I'm not done with Facebook, people. I might actually do a live stream on Facebook, just not right now. And if I do, maybe we'll do once a week for maybe 15 minutes before we talk like adults. We'll talk like children for 15 minutes in a live stream on Facebook. Because they keep getting me for hate speech, and I'm so sick of that. I'm like, I don't even cuss. You can get me for hate speech? All right, bastards. We'll go talk to children on Facebook for 15 minutes, and then we'll jump off and maybe do real adult talk on the other platforms. Something like that. I don't know. I have to think about it. Maybe once a week. Maybe once a month. But right now, I'm not doing it at all. So anyway, listen, I got to go. Y'all have a great day. Love your neighbors. Look out for them. Bad times ahead. And those times will be increasingly bad if we don't act like adults and look out for each other. Stop trusting the billionaires and the psychopaths, secret societies. Rumors of wars are here. There are rumors of wars, and those wars are not with tanks, bombs, guns, drones, and none of that. The rumors of wars that are going to end everything are big corporations. They're fought on servers and accounts and databases and all things that are happening right now, but they're quiet from us. Why? Because they take that tree and make it look like, they'll take that 5G tower and make it look like a damn cactus. All right, this is Gerard. I'm out here. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Or do you want a free